deep to right center. That ball is out of here. Holy cow. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. It's over the wall. It's a home run for Buccaneers. Fumble. Giants have it. Lawrence Taylor struck the ball. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes!
With the players.
Come on, rise, direct from hell. Final.
But hey, enough of my yakking. What do you say? Let's boogie.
And that is my cue to start the show. Welcome to another Thursday night edition of the Hard Rockin' Sports Show, live from high atop Hard Rockin' Sports Studios in beautiful scenic Monroe, New Jersey. We are your 3-hour weekly get-together where we bring you all of the biggest news from around the worlds of hard rock, heavy metal, and, of course, the wide world of sports. And thanks, guys, for tuning in. Hey, Sam Bone, how are you? Thanks for tuning in and catching up with Jeff and I. That's the other side of the screen. It's Mr. Jeff Talwinski, handsome man himself. We are here for 3 hours tonight to try to entertain and inform you, as the opening says. Lots to talk about. Hope your week was good. Got a nice holiday weekend coming up. Looking forward to 3 days off myself. I know my friend Mr. Talwinski doesn't have that luxury. He probably has to work overtime because it's a holiday weekend.
I actually do.
Yeah.
I have to work tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
My day off. I'm only working for about 4.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to be off all day Saturday, and then I got to work Sunday through Thursday again. But the good news is I'm going to make extra money. I've been making extra money every day since like Tuesday.
Right.
Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all extra money days. Sunday last week was an extra money day. Tomorrow will be overtime. That's time and a half. Sunday's time and a half. Monday's time and a half. And then I'll get more overtime on Tuesday. So this way, all the money that I'm making, I just fucking gone. Between fucking bills and the fucking government taking it all, it's all gone.
Yes, sir. Speaking of government,
it's fucking gone.
So hey, don't forget, guys, get out there November 3rd, cast your ballots. Make sure a very important time. We got plenty to talk about. Unfortunately, Jeff, everybody out there, we've prided ourselves the last few years. We touch on a little bit of politics, but now social justice and politics, Jeff, have really kind of forced the show to take more of a political tone, especially because the leagues and its athletes have taken that kind of tone. So it kind of drags us in to all of that, which, I wish it was different because I loved not getting it too much into politics. And but unfortunately, that's the way life is, and our show adapts. And I think we've done a pretty decent job of covering what the major stories are.
Here's a major story.
Don't even go there.
You can see underneath there it says 70 and 90. You have any idea what those numbers signify?
No, Jeff. Is that your heart rate at this point?
No. My heart rate is actually through the roof because of those numbers. That is the New York Giants record over the last 10 years. And I'm very happy because the Jets are actually only 2 games behind them. This storied franchise.
10 decades behind them in Super Bowls. But listen, folks.
Listen, we don't worry about what happens today, Tom.
That's right. Listen.
And nobody's winning the Super Bowl today, are they?
Nope. But guys, don't forget, next Thursday night, Jeff will be here with me, and we'll be doing our yearly NFL season preview show. We'll go through the entire league. We'll give you our picks for division winners, conference winners, and the Super Bowl. We do it every year. And it'll be
I'm sorry. Before I forget, did you know Robert Finelli says he can't hear us?
I hear you. You hear me? I mean,
I hear you. But
hey, Sam Bone, do you hear us? Rob is not hearing us. Sam, can you hear us?
Well, anyway, what I was going to say is the Jets are the only team in the NFL so far that has yet to meet everybody in person and have meetings in person.
Really?
Yeah. That this is already like, they reached the top of the hill and it's just got like a roller coaster, but it's just coming straight down. I can see it now.
It's very strange season so far. It's going to be very difficult I think next week to do a show like we're going to do. But we'll again, that's be next Thursday night. We'll do a little bit of we'll do a lot of sports, a lot of NFL, I should say. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to pick up on something here. I hope you guys can hear us. I hear Jeff fine. He hears me, so I have to assume everybody else can hear us. Maybe Rob, turn your volume up on your thing. But we got a lot to get to tonight. Let's see. Where is? I wanted to play something while. Okay, there it is. We do want to start off the show tonight. Hold on. Shit.
Where we're celebrating the 101st.
Hold on. Sorry, guys. I got a little technical difficulties, but don't worry. I'm going to fix that right now.
Oh, God.
Listen, when you're like the one-man band here, it's hard.
Great.
Let's go back. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Okay. So while we wait for my thing to queue up here, I can't really do that right now anyway, because I got to get my dad on. So guys, what we want to talk tonight about a few things. One being the passing of Tom Seaver. Beside the fact that we're going to talk about, let's start with Jeff. Jeff started out with the top 10 worst teams of the decade. I agree and disagree with it, so we're going to talk about that's the NFL.
I got to ask. I know that, the whole point of the show is to look at two sides. That's what we try to do.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see how you're going to disagree with this list.
I have to.
But you can't.
I have to.
Man, don't forget, your leader said you are what your record is, okay? And 70-90 is a sad-ass team.
My leader? Who's my leader?
Mr. Bill Parcells.
Oh, that's my leader?
At one time he was, yes.
Oh, okay. All right, so listen, I want time, and he's right, but there has to be certain circumstances along the way. But listen, guys, we're going to go do that list, yes, for sure. Jeff says I'm a fraud. I'm going to give him the chance to say why he thinks I'm a fraud. So we'll get that in there tonight.
Because you're a Giants fan.
Tom Seaver passes away. Yankees Rays. The rivalry is getting very heated, which started to take over the Red Sox rivalry with the Yankees. But it's a little far. Drew Brees has no balls. Cam Newton is the Week 1 starter. And I have an interesting trivia question for Jeff, which I'll throw out there a little bit.
And New England Patriot captain.
Yes. And let's see what else we got. We'll talk about the which NFL team is tanking for Trevor. Let's see what else.
I think that was obvious today. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's a pretty good guess. We'll talk about the college football
team.
Holy cow! Why don't you just forfeit the games at this point?
Yeah, really.
Holy
I think
cow.
the key Seagulls are going to take the field for them.
Yeah, we'll talk about Phil Mushnick's column. The MLB fundamentals are gone. Let's see. Adrian Smith says the Iron Maiden's 3 guitar setup works. I'll give you my opinion on it. Trump, here's an interesting politics, which we'll get to a little later. But Trump has been trying to negotiate or barter or get the Big Ten to play college football this year. Big Ten is one of 3 of the power conferences to turn around and say they're not going to play. And he's trying to convince them to get on the field. And some people are pissed off that Trump is interjecting politics. And I just don't see it that way. But we'll get to that a little later. We'll do some overrated and underrated NFL teams. I got some lists for Jeff. And so much more. Let's see. Anything else we'll talk about? The Jags are a big part. Josh Rosen being shopped. Jeff, lots to talk about. We're going to get to it tonight. Let's start off with Tom Seaver a little bit. Here's a guy in Seaver. And again, can anybody hear us out there? Let us know. I don't know if anybody can hear us. Finelli seems to think what he can.
Yeah, I think he could hear us now.
Okay. Since my dad is not there, I want to play Tom Seaver. Let's stop sharing that Block Talk right now. We're going to get my dad on in a minute. And I'm going to put Tom Seaver up on the screen for Jeff and share that in.
It's a shame. He kind of drifted off into Neverland.
Yeah.
Quite literally what do you have, like Alzheimer's or something?
Yeah, dementia. Actually, dementia,
yeah. He wasn't making any appearances for a while. And then when I actually saw last night that he died, I was kind of like shocked. I even forgot about him, to be honest with you, because it's been so long since we actually heard about him. It's a shame, man.
Yeah, I mean, here's a guy who served his country as a Marine, a guy who was one of the game's best pitchers. Now, for a guy that died, he bounced a little bit. Four different teams, won 311 games.
Who did he play for? I know he played for the Mets, Reds,
The White Sox,
and who was the fourth team?
and the Red Sox.
Really? He played on
Yes,
the Red Sox?
very, very, very short time. I don't know if it was even a full season, but I believe he finished his career with the Red Sox.
Oh, Travis.
Yeah. Now, to me, listen, Tom Seaver's best years were a little before my time. One of the worst trades in history. Obviously, the Mets trading him for a couple of players didn't necessarily turn out to be a good deal along the way. But Tom Seaver is considered by many to be one of the greatest mechanics pitchers of all time. The guys that had impeccable power pitcher, great mechanics for a power pitcher, and a guy who probably should have been on more successful teams. Just the one World Series with the '69 Mets. I lost the '73 World Series with the Mets, but a great career. Went on to a pretty good broadcasting career, especially with the Yankees. He was Jeff. I don't know if you remember him with the Yankees as a broadcaster in the early '80s. Early to mid '80s. Him and Phil Rizzuto were a funny team. If you ever get a chance to look it up, they had some very funny moments. But
I vaguely remember him broadcasting for the Yankees. I also remember back then being a kid and being a lot more into baseball than I am now. And it was almost kind of like weird that a New York Met was broadcasting New York Yankee games. Like, a Yankee that was doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, a guy who was definitely more known to be obviously a New York Met, and then went to the Reds for a couple of years, and just got at the end of the big red machine. But as I got the Yankees up, are up 7-4 in their game against the Mets. Jeff, here's something before we get to my dad. I'm going to get him in quick. What the funny thing is, sports has been really quiet this year. I mean, I know it's there's people are down on sports, obviously with all the social media stuff, and to be honest and be fair to baseball, other than game one, there has been nothing. I mean, I've watched sporadically, but I feel like the life has been taken out of sports this year. I don't know if it's the COVID. I don't know, and I thought it'd be bigger with COVID. I don't know if it's all the social justice stuff. What do you think has got sports, even the most ardent fans like myself, Louis Pica, we just haven't gotten into it this year. What do you think?
I think there's a lot of different reasons for it. I think that the COVID, without a doubt, is a big reason. I think watching games that are going to sound like the Little League World Series when they're on, it has something to do with it without the crowd. I think that's a big empty thing. I think baseball turned a lot of people off when they were negotiating the salaries and how that was going to be structured.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most important thing for baseball at that time.
I agree with that. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that turned a lot of people off. I mean, you can't go to the games.
Mm-hmm.
I think people in general are just so aggravated with so much stuff being taken from us. No indoor dining, no we're being able to attend anything at this point in time. And the little that they give you, it's almost like feeding somebody that's been locked in a container for that, like, oh God, bread. You know what I mean? And I think that there's other things that people realize are more important than watching sports, because on every league, these athletes have given somebody something to complain about with social justicing and all of these new terms and Black Lives Matter and all the political bullshit that people just don't want to fucking hear and see it. Because you said it best. People wanted to get away from reality, and there it is. It's following them to wherever they go. Sports. It's like, who the fuck wants to hear that? Who wants to see that?
I agree. I agree. See, now, I never thought, and I don't know if it bothers me or not, about the empty stadiums. I just don't know. Like I never paid attention to the crowd, but I would tell you that there is a little something missing from a game when you don't hear the roar of the crowd, the boos, all the stuff that goes with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, even if the home crowd was to play
right
crowd noise, okay, that it's going to be biased.
Yeah,
and a lot of times when you go there, the home team the home crowd just votes, roots for the home team, of course. But like when certain things happen, maybe a milestone in a season, they give them a round of applause. And, if the guy comes out of the game and he was actually pitching a good game or, something of that nature,
Right.
the fans will give him a little something. The home team can control all of that. And just whenever the away team is up, that's it. They just booing the shit out of them. You know what I mean? And it's kind of stupid. But I think it's a big element. And I think that people realize just how much of an element it is.
Yeah. I agree. I think people are worn out, and I say that I think the COVID has really worn people out. People are tired of hearing it, and I think and not to pick on your boss, but I think that a lot of this has to do with the smugness of the politicians in some cities and states, where the infection rate in New York has been down to 1% for like 3 weeks or better now. And they're watching places like even New Jersey now, as of tomorrow, has 25% capacity on indoor dining.
Yeah.
And you get Comrade Bill, who comes out and says, well, maybe next year we'll think about it. And, I think people are getting frustrated and they're taking it out on just about everything. And to be honest with you, I think people are spending more time on Facebook and social media than they are doing anything else at this point.
That's
good for us. Good for us, but
I mean, listen, Bill de Blasio has to realize and understand one thing, and that's if he doesn't get his shit together real soon, you don't know nobody can be held responsible for what may happen to this guy. They may storm City Hall and pull him out and slap the shit out of him. There's a lot of people getting pissed off that the city is going down the wrong path. And a lot of it has to do with him and the way that he's handling the situation. And then to go on TV and everything and say that there's going to be a possible vaccine in the spring of 2021. It's like the people aren't going to hear this. They're not going to want to hear this and shit like that.
Yeah. No, I got it. And for no rhyme or reason, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Hey, guys, Hard Rocket Sports, 347-826-9934. If you want to join us, if you want to get on a link, I can send you one. Let's get my dad in. Let's see what he's up to. And then we got a lot of show for you tonight, guys. We hope you guys have had a good week. We hope you have a nice weekend this weekend. I don't know what's open anymore. I don't know what schools. I tell my dad the other day, I don't even know if schools are opening soon. You just don't know who's doing what.
God only knows, dude.
Yeah.
Every time something changes, like, how are they going to open schools?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to open up schools, but they're not going to allow you to go sit down someplace and have a slice of pizza.
It makes no sense. Again, your boy the bozo. I don't know what he's up to, Jeff. I just don't know.
You don't know what he's up. Here's something else too. I want you to think about this before you pick up your dad. You can ask him this question. Who the fuck is the second person after him to say, Bill, it's a good idea that you run for president? Remember when he was trying to run for president?
Yeah.
Who was the person that said, Bill, you got a chance, bro?
I'll tell you one thing. The one thing that me, whether you're liberal, conservative, you're pro-Black Lives Matter, anti-Black Lives Matter, cop, pro-cop, no matter what, the one thing everybody agrees on is how much they hate Bill de Blasio. He has to be the most hated man at the very least in the state of New York, but probably in the country.
Yeah, I'm thinking soon he's going to have a press conference where he announces how much he hates himself too.
Yeah.
That very well may happen.
I won't disagree with you, Jeff. I won't disagree. We do have a caller on the line. It's not my dad, so I want to make sure that I get him on in a minute or two. I think it's a friend of ours, or at least a friend of mine, somebody I know. But I want to get my dad in first. He's been hanging, and we'll get to the caller. So callers, hang in there a minute. Hard Rocket Sports, Jeff Towinski, Tom Florio, every Thursday night, 6:30 to 9:30. Let's get my dad on rails right now. Hey, Pop. Hey, Dad.
How you doing, Mr. Florio?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Pop. What's on your mind?
Hear me, Jeff.
How are you, Mr. Florio?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Dad, we hear you. Pop.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We hear you. We got you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Good, Dad. So what's on your mind?
Okay. I was listening to with a lot why people are in sports. Because listened before about people not listening to the sports, interested. It's very hard to not have sports. And now instead of playing a series or a season, they're going right into playoffs. Basketball, hockey, and baseball very shortly too.
Yeah.
So people I'm totally confused. I don't know who's supposed to be in, who's not supposed to be in, who's playing good, who's playing bad. So you everything's right on top of you at once. So I think
I think that's a good point.
I think what they're putting on TV is a lot of garbage.
Yeah, I agree with you that I think they've dropped a lot on us right now. Agree with the hockey playoffs, the basketball playoffs, baseball in the middle. You're basically in the September drive for the playoffs, and now football starting. But there never seems to be a buzz out there like there usually is. There's not a big buzz for sports right now, and I'm just surprised. I thought so many people would be more into sports, being that we were locked down for so long with no live sports. I thought there'd be more of a clamoring for it, and it just doesn't seem like there is. I think a lot of people just down on sports today.
Well, I think that has a lot to do with it, but I also think, like Jeff said, where you got teams playing in hockey. I don't know how good they are. I haven't seen them play all year. Yeah. Basketball, the same thing. Players not playing. And now you're watching baseball, and they're taking their top players, putting them on the bench, saying they're hurt, and they're not playing because everybody's just about guaranteed to be into the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I think that's part.
I mean, the whole American League East is going to wind in the playoffs. So why waste somebody getting hurt?
I agree. I think that I said that from the beginning with this, Jeff, is that.
I mean, the guy played. He came back 1 year, 1 day, and then he went out again.
I think that's a big part of what, Jeff, for me, what turned me off to the baseball season was that they doubled the amount of teams getting in, and it almost made this whole 2 months or 3 months of season a waste of time.
Yeah, to an extent. But you know what? A lot of these players that aren't playing every day, are they being held out waiting for the team?
That's what my dad's saying, and I don't disagree. Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. It takes away from the season. I understand what you're saying, but you know what? Once this starts, I mean, it could be exciting. I don't know if the people are going to accept it, but it could be very exciting to watch it happen.
Yeah.
You're probably never going to see anything like this ever again.
I hope not. Yeah, I hope not.
So, I mean, it does have an upside that, just see how it plays out. But it's hard to enjoy it for certain people, without a doubt.
I think all of it's been very hard. I've tried to watch the hockey. I've tried to watch, like even with baseball, so you get, a bunch of games, and then the Yankees. Thank you. Then the Yankees wind up getting stopping for 4 days because the Mets had somebody test positive for COVID, and I think a lot of that stuff has hurt baseball tremendously. So we'll see. We'll see how then who knows? Maybe we'll get into it in the playoffs. I don't know. I just I think they've watered it down with all the teams getting in. You know what I mean?
I have to agree with you, and it doesn't mean anything anymore. It really don't.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the suspension of Chapman?
I understand it because there's been a lot of bad blood, but I got to be honest with you. I think 3 games for throwing over the head of a guy. Had he hit him, maybe. Did I think he meant it? Yeah, I think he meant to throw over his head.
Tell me, he'd have hit him, he'd have killed him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I know. Again,
he'd have hit him, he'd have killed him.
Yeah, I don't think there was any reason to suspend him. I got to be honest with you. I think baseball overdoing it.
I don't think that the suspension was so much aimed.
I don't like this
as it was to stop future incidents, to show them we're going to take this serious. We're watching you.
Yeah, I get that.
And there's going to be penalties.
Yeah, I get that, Jeff. But I mean, at some point, again, I don't like anybody throwing it at the head. If he threw at the guy, threw it behind him, hit him in the ass, hit him in the shoulder. I mean, hit him in the rib cage. I'm okay with it. I don't like throwing at guys' heads for any reason. Listen, unless you're a pitcher, you throw at a guy's head and you get up, and then somebody throws at your head, you deserve it. But short of that, I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
I've seen a couple damn good ball players get out of loose baseball because of getting hit in the head. Paul Blair was one of the greatest center fielders defensively you'll ever see, and he got knocked. Tony Canigliaro from Boston was another one.
Sure.
And I mean, you want to hit a guy in the waist, you want to hit him in the thigh. I have no problem with that. The minute you start throwing 101 miles an hour for somebody, that scares me.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, they play baseball, and we've all gotten hit with a ball, but we're getting hit by 40 miles an hour, You're not getting hit. That's scary. He just, God, if that ball was a little bigger, we would have hit him.
101 miles an hour. That's no joke getting hit with that. I can promise you that.
Oh, Daz.
Oh, yeah, we'll see.
He wouldn't have got up.
But to me, you know what? Come out, throw it. Listen, they've been throwing up and in at the Yankees. I don't have any sympathy for the Rays. They've been doing it for a couple of years now, so I don't have any sympathy for them. But same thing, I would not prefer if they didn't throw at a guy's head, because if you make the mistake, somebody's getting killed.
With everybody. No, I'm not saying Chapman only. I'm talking about anybody.
Oh, absolutely.
The minute you throw from the net, automatically fined and automatically suspended.
I agree with you. Again, there has to be some sort of intent, though, also, Dad. You can't just throw a guy out.
I don't care if it's against the Yankees or against Boston. You shouldn't hit anybody in the head with the ball. That hurts.
Understood. You're right.
Watch baseball. I watch it. We can almost guarantee when a guy's getting thrown at.
Yeah.
And Chapman threw that ball, and after he threw it, he started walking towards the guy like you got a problem with it.
Oh no, I absolutely agree with you that he was sending a message.
We're not talking about it
towards home plate. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah,
I take this guy, and then you're taking a step towards home plate. That guy had every right in the world. Whatever it is he said at that moment, the look he had on his face was more than justified. I felt.
Oh, I agree. I wouldn't argue that a bit. Yeah, absolutely. He'd have every right to get upset about it, and rightfully so.
I'd like to see somebody go after them with a bat. Guys up at the plate. You throw at my head, that bat's coming right at you.
Well, again, like
I
said, you have your options. You throw out their own players. You have to. I believe in eye for an eye. The Rays have been throwing at the Yankees, but you don't throw at a guy's head like that. 101 miles an hour. Throw behind him. Hit him in the, like Jeff said, hit him in the thigh. Do something, but that you can't have happen. So.
No, they should know that already, man.
Right.
Come on.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Imagine hitting that guy in the.
They know it, but they don't care.
You'll fucking destroy his life.
Sure, absolutely. Again, you got to be careful, and yes, you can end a guy's career easily by doing it.
He would have killed him. He had to kill him.
Change his life forever.
Yeah.
Piazza.
Yeah. Listen, I'm all for sending a message, but I'm not.
All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go.
Thanks, Pops.
I'll let you go. All right, enjoy yourselves. Have a good show.
You got it, Pop.
Talk to you
over the
next
weekend.
time.
I'll see you over the weekend.
Take care. Okay, take it easy, Jeff.
See you later, Mr. Florio. Be good, man.
Take care.
That's my dad. He checks it every week. Jeff, we got a call in line. Let's get him right on the phone. I believe this is Bobby Nessel. Let me check. Would this be Bobby Nessel? Hello? Caller, you're on the air. Hello. 646-285-87. You out there? Hello. I think I don't.
Is he snoring like Dominic?
I don't hear his snoring, Jeff.
What's up to Douglas, by the way?
Hey, Doug Franklin. Even though you're a Cowboy fan, hey, Doug.
That's a sharp jersey you're wearing there, Dougie.
Easy, sharp
so
jersey.
Much better than that fucking blue the Giants wear.
Bobby Ness, you there? I don't know, Jeff. He's not there. It's not seen.
I don't think he's there, bro.
All right, let's put him back on hold to see Ness. Let's see. It's a little colony. Bobby Ness. Up. Guys, is everybody hearing us out there? I'm gonna. Are you guys hearing us?
It doesn't look like there's many people listening. Is there?
Well, there's seems to be piling up a little bit now, but I'm just hoping that people are hearing us. But anyway, Jeff, we got to go ahead.
Go ahead. I want to just jump on and see if I can hear us.
Go ahead. All right. So, guys, we're talking about Tom Seaver a little bit today, and we're talking a lot of baseball right now. But again, I think, Jeff, you said something interesting before, and my dad kind of got in the middle of it. I wanted to bring it up to you. Shoot. Oh, man, I'll come back to it. Yeah. Yes, I guess Doug can hear us. How you doing, Doug?
Yes.
So we'll get to Doug and his cowgirls in a minute.
It'd be nice now, Douglas. It was beautiful. It was like a hardworking tag team. Man. We looked out of there with the belts. We made Tommy work for nothing, and it was
okay.
Great.
So Doug says he hears us fine. Everything's going. I'm just no problem. Just want to make sure people are hearing us out there, so I'm feel better. So yeah. So Jeff, let's finish up on the Chapman thing. I could show you. Want to see the pitch again? Do you want to see it?
I saw it. If you want to bring it up, you could on the screen. You could put it up on the screen. I will say this much: I really think that, without a doubt, that wasn't an accident. That's one thing. Okay. He definitely threw the pitch in that direction. That's one thing. Second, the suspension. Although it's 3 games, especially during a 60-game season, 3 games is a lot.
Oh, sure.
Especially for a relief pitcher. But with the heated rivalry and getting hotter between the Rays and the Yankees, you got to do something to put this out quickly. This is 2 teams that play in the same division. I didn't see this angle, so I'm interested to see.
Can I put a rewinder for you? Oof.
That came 101 miles an hour.
That's 101 miles an hour, Jeff.
That guy stood there and fucking took it, though, man.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about it. You got to give him credit, for that. I mean, he didn't take it, but here's the thing.
I didn't like what the Rays manager said. I thought that
I agree with you on that. Yeah. I mean,
very veiled threat and.
And then he kind of said some stuff about the pitch, the coaching techniques of Aaron Boone. Listen, here's one thing. I'll tell you that the Rays Yankee rivalry is really, really starting to get to be a little something. Doug, easy on the Pop Warner Giants. Oh my God. Oh man, that's below the belt. Yeah. I got it, Doug. Maybe you should go back and try to figure out the last time you guys won a playoff game or something of value.
Whoa.
Before you come at me with Pop Warner Giants
on a fucking playoff game.
Listen,
fucking George Bush was still president last time they won a playoff game.
Listen, we got two shiny trophies from the last few years. I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
My team.
The last time.
Your team, listen. Your team. Last time they won they were relics.
About my team, you could fucking
look. Wore leather helmets then.
You could listen to every fucking episode.
Leather helmet.
Mouth and rip my team apart. Never once.
Leather helmet.
This is a team that's going anyplace. Never once.
Oh, that's because I have faith in my team.
I don't really give a fuck what you got in your team. What you got in your team is a lot of false hope. They're not going to win. They're not going to win.
I disagree.
Hold on 1 second. Excuse me, Tom. Doug. Stop with the Yankees. We're ripping the Giants apart. Move back over to football. Back over to football. Don't worry about the fucking Giants. There you go. He's back on the Giants.
God. Listen. Okay, let's move over to football because you know what? You guys have stoked my fire.
God,
you stoked the fire.
Oh God, here we go.
Now here's a team this year that is going to put a pounding on the NFL. I'll tell you right now. The Giants, 9-game winners. That's it. I said it. The Giants are 9-game winners. Easy. 5 in our division alone. Hey, Karen King from Australia. They're picking on me. They're picking on my beloved Giants. I need help from Australia. Jeff,
Let me ask you something.
9 wins.
Aaron King, did you happen to send Tommy a package from Australia and maybe one of them fucking super poisonous spiders got in there and bit him on the ass? Because this guy is not thinking fucking
Five wins in the division alone.
Yeah, look at Douglas. I like this guy.
Yeah.
You need to see a professional.
I'm telling you, listen, who else predicted that the Detroit Tigers would win over 20 games this year? Only I did.
So what?
I see winners.
Oh.
People see dead people. I see winners, Jeffrey. Winners.
Not in the NFC East.
And they wear
the NFC East is going to be the Cowboys.
And they wear the blue of the New York Football Giants, baby.
Oh man, look at Douglas. He's all over you like white on rice. There will be 9 games.
Nothing to say. He's got this big $1 billion stadium. Hasn't even sniffed Super Bowl. Oh, sorry. Other people win Super Bowls in that stadium, not them. Oh, it's terrible. Bring back Tony Homo. Bring him back, baby. Bring him back.
70 and 90. 70 and 90.
Listen,
and you over here fucking 2.
And we won, and out of that list, and all the teams you're fighting about now, we're the only ones in the last 10 years that won a Super Bowl. Bam! I said it.
Okay, and you haven't done anything else since you won the fucking Super Bowl.
Doesn't matter. I'll take Super Bowls, baby. Super Bowls.
God. What? Let me ask you something. What year was the year they won the Super Bowl?
2011.
Look the fuck out. We're coming on the 10th year anniversary of that.
Is it in the decade? Is it in this decade? Yes, it's in this decade.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
It certainly is.
2020. How's it in this decade?
Then how do we have this list of teams of the decade and you're okay with it? Thank you, Karen. Karen says, go Giants. That's a smart lady. That's what I love about Karen King. She's got my back.
Poor Karen doesn't even know what fucking day it is. She lives
she knows what day it is. It's tomorrow. See, that's why Karen and I are friends, because we don't worry about yesterday. We talk about tomorrow and more wins.
She's fending off fucking koala bears and giant spiders down there. She don't know what she's talking about.
Giants will win 9 games, 5 in their own division. They sweep the Redskins. They sweep the Eagles. And I'll give them a split with the Cowgirls.
Oh, how nice.
A split. Right before they lose Dak Prescott, that overrated quarterback.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Guy is
They listen. Number 3 in the league last year in point scoring. The Cowboys, great. How many wins did they get them? 8. 8. They couldn't even make the playoffs in a division where the winner 8 games. Horrendous.
Well, listen. I'm not here to fucking stick up for the Cowboys because I really couldn't give a fuck less if they win or they don't win. I don't even give a fuck if the Jets win. I'm more focused on ripping the Giants apart than I've ever been before. Okay? This is a sad-ass team with a fucking go-no-place fucking quarterback, a running back who's going to fucking flip, just like in wrestling. He's going to go from babyface to heel before the fucking halfway point of the season. You watch. He's going to be standing on the sideline. I can't wait. Oh, God.
I need to throw up.
Saquon. Yeah, with a name like Saquon, he will be there. You know it.
Listen.
Know it.
9 wins in the division.
The fuck out of here.
9 wins.
Yeah, and they'll buy 10 of them.
9 wins, 5 in the division.
He doesn't know football or mathematics. No, he doesn't.
9. Listen to me.
But Doug, he's not sick, by the way. He fucking means this shit.
I've analyzed this team. I look around the division. You got a team in Washington, the Redskins, who have no name anymore. They have a terrible quarterback, a coach who I don't know why they would bring a has-been coach from Carolina. Couldn't even do that.
Really? Really?
Has-been.
Really? You're just has-been. Meanwhile, you pick a fucking God.
Then we got the Eagles.
They fucking took Pat Shermer.
Eagles, they bring a quarterback
with Shermer. They couldn't get any worse.
They bring in Eagles, have a quarterback who would hurt his knee blowing bubbles.
Oh, that's Jerry Brusco.
He's the Jerry Brusco of the NFL. Carson Wentz is fragile at best. They try to move their guard to tackle because somebody got hurt, and he won't do it unless he gets paid. What kind of team do you run in Philadelphia? 2 teams out the window.
The guy is 38 years old.
Yeah,
probably his last year in the NFL. Fuck you, pay me.
He should be out there trying to help his team win another Super Bowl. Now, We
Yeah,
move
and he wants
on.
to get paid as he's playing a position.
Now we move on to the Cowgirls. You got a quarterback.
Oh, no. Wait. Explain Garrett. He wants an explanation.
I haven't got there yet. I'm going to the Cowgirls before I get to my beloved
Douglas,
New York Football Giants.
See what happens? This is what happens.
He
has the more fucking powerful mic, so he's got to turn it up.
That's right. I'll go to Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett was a failure as a coach.
And now look where he is.
As a head coach. Because he was the cowboy. He was a puppet there. Jerry Jones ran the team, not Jason Garrett. Jerry Jones ran that team. Gave him bad. But think about it. Jason Garrett last year had the top 3 offense in the league. He's now taken his system over to a team.
Listen to what I'm about to tell you.
Coach.
Listen to what I'm about to tell you. You fucking get on here on your soapbox. I wish I was there. I'd push you right off. That's one thing. Second of all,
now you threaten me with violence.
You ripped Dak Prescott apart, okay? Yeah. But now the guy that was fucking training Dak Prescott is now training Daniel Jones.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
I fucking hope Daniel Jones circles the fucking bowl like a turd. Banging the sides.
Won't happen. Daniel Jones is on his way to being the elite quarterback in this league.
Yeah, if everybody else quits.
Elite quarterback. See, now here's the thing. Jason Garrett as a head coach is a failure.
You're going to tell me that Jones is going to rival Mahomes one day. Tell me that. Please tell me that.
No, I don't think he'll be at that level. That's a super elite guy right now.
Yeah, okay.
Now, you want me to give you the answers, but you don't want to listen to the answers. You only want to threaten me with violence.
Be quiet. What?
You want to threaten me with violence. That's what you want to do. So
it's what you understand.
So Jason Garrett was a failure as a head coach. He coached the Cowgirls. Jerry Jones gave him bad players, but he still managed to have, even with a bad quarterback, a running back who's constantly being suspended, an offensive line that's overrated, still wound up with a number three offense in football. Hey, great job. Now he's taking those talents to a real team with real talent, with a real quarterback and a hand touched by the hand of God running back. It's all coming together, Jeffrey. It's all coming together. Now we move on to my beloved Giants. Now, why will my Giants be great this year, Jeff? Ask me again. Ask me, Tom. Why will the Giants be great?
Well, I'll play along. Why do you think the Giants will be great this year?
Because we have all the pieces now, Jeffrey. We have them. Okay. The offensive line has now come together. We have built a formidable offensive line this year.
Oh, look, you're not even paying attention to Doug. He's bringing up a bunch of shit.
Well, I don't want to listen to a guy who roots for a team that is America's team, and I think the last time they won a Super Bowl, we weren't even discovered as a country yet. Why would I want to listen to a guy who roots for a team, America's team? First off, at this point, the Patriots are probably America's team.
Get away from the pipe, Tommy.
But the Giants, Jeffrey, listen to me when I tell you.
Oh, God, this is fucking great. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. Either one of you two guys, if I told you that your team was going to win 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, but for 5 years you were going to be terrible, you take it and sign up for it. Now, why? Because you haven't seen a Super Bowl in the green machine.
No.
They wore leather helmets.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Yeah, it's good, Jeff.
I would not sign up for anything, and I'll tell you why.
Why not?
Okay, because I've waited so long. I'm willing to see this through one way or another because it just doesn't fucking matter at this point in time if they win.
It's disgusting.
It does not matter if they win. I am probably gonna die without seeing my favorite football team ever come close to a Super Bowl again, unless they're buying fucking tickets. Right. And I'm cool with that.
You are?
I've come to peace. I've come to grips with that.
You are.
With that, yeah.
How about Jeff? As a friend, as a brother, we're brothers from another mother, right?
Correct.
I'm going to invite you and Doug over to the blue machine, over to the blue train. Whoop, whoop. Come on, come over for the big win. You know it's coming.
Look, who am I? You ready?
Whoop, whoop.
Watch. You ready? Who I am? Let me just get this all straightened away. Okay.
that listen, Joe Biden. We don't need Joe Biden references
Fucking
here.
Eli. That's Eli.
Oh,
baby.
stop, Eli.
And then all of a sudden, Eli, you're going to get benched.
The clock has started on Eli.
They had to tell him to cry. Did you know that?
The clock has started on the Hall of Fame. They're already making the jacket for Eli. They're already sewing the jacket, Jeffrey.
They're putting fucking tissues in the jacket.
Sewing the jacket.
They're just
Eli's
going to give him the jacket so he sits in the corner and fucking. I got that jacket.
Jacket for Eli, baby. Gold for Eli.
No way.
It's coming, baby. Just sit back on the tracks. Listen, I'm inviting you over. I will officially give you permission to step on over to the Giants side of the tracks and root for a team with some history, with a future. Forget about history. Let's put the future behind us. See, there's the future. There's the past right there. Guys like that. That when you have the greatest player of all time on your team, that's it. That's it. That's all you need to look at right there.
Okay. So, in other words, you're condoning drug use because he was the biggest crackhead in the NFL in his day. And we all know that.
Still the greatest player to step on the football field with a pair of cleats ever.
He would have rather have smoked the 50-yard line than protected.
Say that. I understand. The man had some off the field.
And then not for nothing. Didn't they have Dave Meggett who's serving time in jail for fucking rape or something like that?
Possible. Yes, it's very possible that there have been some transgressions by some of our players in the past, but that happens everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That happens everywhere, Jeffrey. All I can tell you is 9 wins this year. Toot, toot. The giant train is coming, baby. I'm inviting you on. Doug, you're more than welcome to jump on. Doug, I love that one, Doug. I'll give you credit on that one. You're absolutely right. Jeff, come on to the train, Jeff.
I would never in a million years ever be a Giant fan. I just couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Well, listen, then you'll have to stay in your mediocrity. You'll have to live in the squalor.
First of all, they never even touched mediocrity, the fucking Jets. They couldn't touch mediocrity. I can't even say it right now.
Mediocrity. All right, let's be serious.
With fucking radar, they couldn't touch it. That's how far away they are from it, all right?
Hard Rock and Sports, Jeff and Tom talking to you, having some fun here. Next Thursday night, the big NFL preview show. Jeff and I will break it down, all the divisions, all the teams. We'll give you the big stars. We'll give you our predictions. We do it every year. We have some fun with it. Hopefully, we'll get some guests on. Maybe Doug will come on and debate the NFC East with us. But and I think next week Jeff should host the show. I think Jeff should control the whole thing. I think as he's passing gas right now at his house. But
I didn't even call it that, man. That was I think there's a hazmat team out front.
So if you're out there listening, and I hope you are, make sure you come on back next Thursday night, 7 to 10, right here on the Hard Rock and Sports Show. Please do me a favor. If you like the show, share us out there. Let your friends know who we are and what we're doing. And, of course, make sure you come on back and listen to the show every week. Make sure you check out hardrockandsports.com. And remember, go to the Hard Rock and Sports YouTube channel and check us, subscribe, and help us. I want to retire. I want to do this for a living. So, you see the knowledge I have. I've already picked the Giants for greatness this year. I've got the talent for this, folks. Talent, I got it. You ready? All right, so let's talk about this list, Jeff, this top 10 worst teams of the decade.
Oh, yeah, let me get it.
Okay, so I got one major problem with it.
Honestly, too low on it.
No. Why aren't the Cardinals on this list?
Because, good question.
I'm again. Here's the thing. I can't for the life of me put the Titans on this list. And again, I'm not going strictly by.
They're going by the amount of games that they won. And
I got it, but see, to me,
the Detroit Lions have won more games than the Giants have.
I guess the answer to that is yes.
Wow.
Games. But again, I don't think that necessarily tells the whole story. What is that guy thinking about getting thrown out at third base? That has got to be the worst. The Mets are losing 7-6 in the ninth inning. They got a runner on second base. He stole second, and then he gets thrown out at third base. I just don't get that move right there. I mean,
fucking Mets, bro.
Holy cow! I don't get it. You're in scoring position. You got 3 shots at it. And you're going to steal and get caught stealing third base. All right. Anyway, that's okay. So the list is Hold on, let me put this list up. I can't get it on the thing. I'm going to put it up on here.
Is that your list?
That's my list.
All right. Let me in first place. All right, because that list we got the Cleveland Browns. Because I can't even see that list, Tom. Don't even bother.
Okay.
Oh, that's your list?
No, this is. I got this on a site called Talking Trash. It's Chris Sims, the former quarterback, son of Phil Sims. I actually am friends with him on Facebook now, and he has his site called Talking Trash. People talking, and he put this list up of the top 10 worst teams of the decade, and I thought it was an interesting list. Titans at number 10, that 69-91. Again, I don't want to just live on records because, you can have a couple of bad years and a couple of decent years in there. It doesn't mean, you've had a terrible year every year. So I want to clear that up. I don't think the Titans belong on this list. The rest of it is not far off.
First of all, you know what? The more I'm looking at this list,
yeah,
the more I'm almost. I could see a couple teams that don't belong on this list.
Like who?
Okay, the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Titans, the Lions, the Jaguars, the Browns, the Bucks, the Redskins, the Jets. Actually, the only team that I think that belongs on it is the Giants.
Go fuck yourself. See, this is why we can't have a normal conversation. This is why I can't have a normal conversation with you because you just,
No, I don't know. Please explain it to me.
Because you just can't have a serious conversation. I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you, and you're going to sit there and belittle my Giants while there's serious teams on this thing. Now, the Mets would have won the game had the guy not stolen third because the next guy hit a home run.
I would never belittle your team. They did enough of that on their own.
So I don't understand why the Cardinals. Listen, I don't care what the Cardinals have done. They've been horrendous the last 5 or 7 years. So to me, I don't know how the Cardinals are not on this list. And I'll tell you, the only team that I don't think deserves to be on this list is the Titans. I think the Titans have been a fairly good team over the last 4 or 5 years, and I think it's wrong that they're on this list.
Yeah, well, listen, if they lost enough games to get on the list, then it is what it is, man.
Again, it's not just about Jeff. What if they had 2 years out of this 10 where they went 1-15, but the rest of it they were 9-7? It's not indicative. It's just not indicative, just based on people's records.
You were just on here a few minutes ago telling us how great the Giants were for winning the Super Bowl something 15 years ago.
Was it 15?
And you're still holding on to it. So, of course, you would find it within your narrow field of vision about the Giants not being one of the worst teams because they're the Giants.
That's true.
Actually, it's just starting to narrow up. There it is. There you go. That may be it right there. And that's what you see when it comes to the Giants. They're a bad team, man. Bad team.
You're disgusting. I'm sorry.
Bad team.
All right, so we're going to move on. Since I can't have let's talk about Drew Brees because I'm annoyed by Drew Brees.
Yes, so am I.
I'm annoyed. And Jeff, you know how much we've argued Drew Brees, Tom Brady for years, right? On this show, we've had the argument. I think Tom Brady is the GOAT, and you, for some ill-advised reason, think that Drew Brees is better quarterback than Tom Brady.
Oh no, there we go.
So
go ahead.
Okay. But so now earlier this year, Drew Brees, I thought, had a pair of balls. Okay.
Yes, he did.
For about 3 minutes, Drew Brees had balls of steel. And he came out against people who were kneeling and he said, I won't kneel and I gotta, and I was like, you know what? I'm buying a Drew Brees jersey. Then he wishy-washed on that. His teammates started getting on. He got one teammate crying, the other one threatening him. And he goes, I'm with you. I'm with you guys. No problem. So he wishy-washy. So now he was right back to being the pussy I thought he was. But now, Jeff, in all seriousness, how Drew Brees and any other member of the NFL can walk around and get photographed wearing a helmet with Jacob Blake's name on it is beyond pathetic.
It's hard to argue that, man. It's hard to argue that. You took a stance just a few short weeks ago. you're now sticking up and immortalizing somebody that did not comply with a police officer's demand. Although personally, I feel as though that the shooting 7 times in the back was a little excessive. You know, there's other things. They could have shot him in the leg. They could have shot him in the ass. They could have grabbed him. They could have whacked him with a nightstick. Whatever. Not important. Okay. But you're talking, you're immortalizing someone that was wanted for a crime and just was not a solid citizen overall.
Jeff,
And it's
finish up. Sorry.
I
agree. I agree with that. But here's the problem. The guy was being arrested because there was a warrant out for his arrest for sexual assault. I believe it was with a 15-year-old girl. I'm not 100% sure.
That makes it even worse.
The guy, the reason they were taking him in was because he was at the home of his girlfriend who didn't want him there. I believe there was a restraining order. She called the cops, and there's a warrant out for his arrest for sexually assault. Again, I'll say it again. Sexually assaulting somebody. Now, whether you agree or disagree, and we're going to disagree on how many times he got shot, to me, he had 3-4 opportunities to be arrested. Twice they tried to tackle him. Twice they tried to taser him.
I'm not saying that he didn't deserve anything.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, okay? I just honestly feel that for the cops, knowing everything that's been going on in this country, to unload on this guy 7 times when he was within arm's length, because one of them went to go grab him and almost got the shirt. You know, there was 3 of them. You couldn't stop this guy from getting in the car. You don't take a nightstick out and club him a few times. If they had kicked the shit out of him and left him a bloody pulp in the street, I'd have no problem with that. I have no problem with them actually shooting him. I just think that it takes 7 shots to get him to stop. When you knew that you were chasing him from the other side of the car, you know, they should have had a better plan of action.
I won't disagree with that.
You know, I wasn't there,
and
I wasn't one of the ones trying to subdue this guy.
Right.
So it's easy for me to turn around and say it's just that knowing all the problems going on in the country, you pull out a gun and shoot this guy in the back, nonetheless, 7 times.
Again, I'll always say the same thing. At what point is it okay for the cops to make sure that they go home alive that night? Because they've tried everything else to get the guy to go in peacefully. They tried to tackle him. They tried to taser him twice. You know, they've asked him to stop. He's admitted he had a weapon. At some point, and guys, I get that you say it. What if he shoots him twice? Let's say they shot him twice in the back and they stop and they go, is he going to stop him? What if he whips around now and shoots the cop in the face or pulls out the knife and cuts his throat? At what point, again, unless I've gone through a little of it in training. I've never absolutely been in that position, obviously, but I guarantee you, if you ask a cop, what the cops are taught, and they're taught this, and I know for a fact they're not trained to kill. They're trained to stop. So you keep shooting, because the minute you stop and that guy comes back at you and he kills you, then it's on you. So to me, like you said, at what point is it on Jacob Blake to say, I'm going to comply? To me,
evidently it was never his intention to comply.
Correct.
When you broke away from them, you got tased, and then walked away like you were going to the store, and like just simply didn't give a fuck what was happening around you. You know, it was quite obvious exactly which way he was thinking.
Yeah, but again, this wasn't to get into the Jacob Blake situation and the cops and whether they're right or wrong. The bottom line is, how is a guy like Drew Brees, who's a God-fearing man, how do you sit there and say, I'm going to put this guy's, and again, to me, that he was shot has no bearing on what he did prior. Has no bearing. Okay, he's accused of something. But when you can't immortalize, you cannot make somebody into a hero who is not.
I got to ask Douglas something, because he wrote down, I see where he says there were also kids in his car. They were shooting him as he was getting in the car. If you're worried about the kids, the last thing you're going to do is try to shoot this guy while he's actually attempting to get into the car if there's kids in the car.
Yeah.
Now, all of this is stuff that I never heard before either. You know what I mean? So I don't know all the ins and outs, because I'm just so tired of seeing all of this shit happen.
Yeah, Jeff, we all are. But, this happens other times. they're just cherry picking these stories.
Of course they are.
There are more white guys shot by unarmed by cops than there are that black people are. So the narrative is wrong. But again, they're not glorifying everything else.
White on white crime or cops on white crime or black on white crime doesn't sell. It's not the
Correct. That's why. But let's keep it to the sports. Let's keep it to the sports end of it, Jeff. So now, Jeff, as a guy who would probably say that he's a Drew Brees fan, has he lost a little bit in your eye? Has he dropped down a step?
He lost a little bit in my eyes when he changed his stance. Okay, when he turned around and he proclaimed that he didn't feel as though that it was right that these guys kneel during the anthem.
Mm-hmm.
He took a stance and he allowed other people to change his mind and change his stance. Now, whether he actually changed his mind or whether he turned around and he just said that so that other people would cut him some slack, it doesn't matter. He bent on his beliefs instead of just turning around and just saying simply like, listen, I'm sorry. This is how I feel. It doesn't mean that I want to see people get hurt, people get killed, people get injured.
Right.
But I just feel as though that the flag, that we are allowed to do the things we do in this country because of what that flag stands for. That's what's important to me.
I agree.
That's all he had to say. And the other people, just as how they want him to understand and know how it feels, should say, you know what? I understand how you feel. That's your right. That's your belief. We could be friends and you could think of two different ways. You like the Giants, I like the Jets. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I know that means nothing in life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but there are people that will not talk to other people because of the sports teams that they root for.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
He's being influenced by the almighty dollar. That's what he's being influenced. That and because he's probably scared shit of his own locker room.
Well, I think that's more. I don't think it's a money thing with Drew Brees. I really don't. I don't feel like Drew Brees is worried about his advertisement money or his next.
He's not worried about his advertisement money. You know what he's worried about? He's worried about his fucking broadcasting career that's going to happen.
Yes, that I would agree with, Jeff. Yeah. I think that a lot of this is that, but you still don't have to go to that length. If you want to sit there and you want to be part of the team because your team wants to walk out or they want to skip practice or protest, but to put that guy's name on your helmet,
totally wrong. At first, when you put that picture up yesterday,
mm-hmm.
or you were talking about that yesterday on Facebook, you see a lot of the fucking football players, they have the tape, and for whatever reason, they have their name on it. Because they don't have a jersey with their name on it, practice, whatever the case is. So I thought that maybe somebody took the picture because they always Photoshop that shit and they put it on. I had to look it up.
Uh-huh.
And then it said it. I found the article and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. It's like, this is what this guy allowed, complete 360.
Yeah.
He stood, where he stood, what his point was. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, that's my point. And listen, let's get past whether they should be waiting to see what the outcome of it is. They were trying to protest last night in D.C. because some kid got shot, some black kid got shot by the cops. Turns out the kid had a gun. But meanwhile, last night they wanted to burn the police station down. I always say let it play out. Let it play out. My problem with it is, even if you want to say the cops were wrong, or maybe they might be wrong down the line, you cannot glorify Jacob Blake. It's not like he was in the middle doing some tremendous good deed and the cops killed him. This was a guy who was harassing somebody he wasn't supposed to harass. He was wanted for sexual assault, I think, of a minor. I'm almost positive. And I'm not even going to repeat the statement he made to this person that he did. And then you're going to glorify him because he was shot? That I don't get. And that's what pisses me off.
It's not so much that they're glorifying him, okay? They're taking the story as it breaks, and they're using it as ammunition to fuel their fucking thoughts, fuel their fucking cause, fuel their machine, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay? Nobody waits to hear, well, why were the cops there?
Right.
All of these names, from when all of this started, all had one thing in common. None of them fucking complied.
Yeah.
Listen to what they were being told to do. So they took it upon themselves to say, no, not today. No, I'm not doing this. No, this ain't happening. So what did it do? It caused the cops to take it up another level.
Yeah. It
was like you said earlier, and which is true. They want to go home.
Yeah.
They all want to go home. But none of these guys that ended up nobody just got put into custody and just said, okay, here, my hands are behind my back. Oh, okay, he's cuffed. I kicked the shit out of him. Oh, wait, shoot him now. That's never been said. It's been fucking videotaped. You realize that you are videotaped every single day. There's pictures of you and videos of you that you don't even know that exist.
Sure.
Because people are taking videos and you're in them and your pictures are in them. And maybe somebody's laughing at us right now because look at this fucking idiot. We got a picture of him. I took a picture of my girlfriend the other day. This asshole's in the background. You don't know. And it's a shame because everything is there. And then once the explanation comes, nobody on the other side ever turns around and says, you know what? We were wrong. We're sorry. We apologize. Maybe we shouldn't have jumped the gun so fast. Never happens.
Never happened. Never will.
Happens.
Never will. It doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative. Hard Rocket Sports. Jeff and Tom. Yeah. So Jeff, what do we do this year with football? I mean, what do we do? I mean, these are now the guys we have to. These are the guys now that we're going to have to root for. You know, I mean, do you still root for Drew Brees?
You don't have to root for anybody. Remember that. You don't have to root for anybody. You could cover the game because we're doing a sports radio show, a music and sports show. You can still cover the league without watching the games. There's plenty of newspaper articles and everything else and YouTube so you can watch certain plays. You don't have to be behind their narrative, okay? We like a sport. We follow a sport. Douglas, I don't know if you're still listening, how you feel about this. It's a sport. Once the whistle blows and the ball is kicked, it's all about the sport.
Yeah, should be.
It's people's beliefs, okay? Just how we turn around and say, well, these people shouldn't do this because we don't believe in it. Well, listen, it doesn't make a difference once the game is going on. You know, you watch the game and that's that. You don't have to believe what these people say. You don't have to be with them. You don't have to live with them. You don't have to think like them.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could tell you. I understand everything you're saying, and I feel you're 100% right. But why are we going to take something else away from us? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can't argue it, Jeff. I can't, and it's hard. You listen. You brought it up before. I know you're breaking my balls about it, but it does bother me that John Mara is going to be is okay with his plays kneeling. I'm not. I'm just not. As a Giant fan, I'm not okay with it.
It's disgusting. The Giants are a franchise. Okay, let's get real for a minute here, okay? The Giants have always been known as a well-respected, well-run franchise. Okay, they hit some hard times, thank God, and it's happening while we're on this show, so I'm happy for that. But this is a team that has been, exemplary. You know, they have good players. Every player has every once in a while a team has a fucked up player, but a team that has always been known to do things the right way. And now all of a sudden, okay, we're going to support our players. How about this? You know what? First game of the season, I'll let you come out. We'll play your black anthem. I'll play the national anthem. If you want to sit, stand, kneel, do jumping jacks, whatever it is, after the first game, that's it. Back to we play the anthem. You all stand there, put your hands over your hearts, and that's it. And that's how we do it from now on. We'll acknowledge it once, but it's not going to be a weekly thing and throughout the whole entire season. You don't have to do it. Where is the Italian national anthem? Where is the Jewish national anthem? Where's the Polish and Irish national anthems? You know, where are all of these national anthems? How come they're not going to be played? You know, now you're showing the videos of these guys going through their exercises. You know what? Those are men. They're men playing football right now. They're not white men. They're not black men. They're men. Here comes another man doing a football exercise. There's a line of men behind him. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Well, there's a black guy wearing 19. There's a black guy number 87. It looks like there's a white guy in number 80, and there's another black guy. But he's wearing a white shirt. They shouldn't do that. You want to stop racism? That's a man. There's another man doing some exercise. Look at them go. I couldn't do that. And until that happens, that's it.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you, Jeff. And I think people have to take racism out. And I think people have to stop acknowledging people as that's a black athlete. Just it's an athlete. It's a human being. And again, here's the thing.
Says that, correct me if I'm wrong. the Patriots, they had a defensive back. I believe his name was Chung or something, wasn't it?
Yes.
Nobody ever said they may turn around and say he's the first Asian American in the league, but they don't continuously say, well, Asian football player Patrick Chung or whatever the fuck his name was, is on the Patriots, and there's Chung, the only Asian football player in the NFL.
Yeah.
There was no reason to say that.
Here's my problem with all of it is it's all one-sided, Jeff. Like now there is one athlete who's wearing David Dorn's. If you guys don't know, David Dorn he was a retired African-American police captain who was killed during one of the riots in St. Louis, and they're actually putting the names of people on the back of their helmets, and this guy's actually wearing David Dorn's name. But my problem, I had this argument with my son the other day. I'm truly transparent. We got into it because I said, if it was about ending racism, I'm with you. If we're against everything, I'm all in. But it's only one-sided. We're only against cops killing black people. And then again, nobody should kill anybody. But we need to be against everything, and then I'm all in. Otherwise, you're just fanning the flames, and that's my problem with it.
A lot of people say that there's whenever something like this happens, there's bad cops. There's bad cops.
Sure,
of course, there's bad cops. I can understand that without a doubt. But you want to know something? I don't believe that every cop that was involved in a situation like this is bad.
No, absolutely not.
I would imagine that most of those cops are not bad.
Yeah.
And just in a situation, because like you said it earlier, where they were forced into a situation that they did not want to be in the first place.
Correct.
I can't see any of them say, like, man, I hope I come into a close one today.
Yeah.
Right?
Nobody wants that situation.
Nobody knows what's going to happen. They're not allowed to get fucking scared. Mm-hmm. They're not allowed to worry about what's going to happen. Is somebody going to pull out a gun? Somebody going to kill them? Are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
And even if you want to wear the names of victims, that's fine. You could wear these names of victims. Come the season, there better not be any on the helmets. There better not be.
That's what's going to happen, Jeff. They already said it.
There's not.
I don't know if it's going to be all year, but for at least week one, they are going to have the back of the helmets. They're also going to have Black Lives Matter and end racism in the end zone. There's all sorts of stuff. Now, again, I don't know if this is just week one or if this is past week one. I have not heard that yet, but I have to tell you,
I can imagine it's past week one without a doubt.
I tell you the truth though, but the biggest insult of all of it goes back to what you just said. It's the Black national anthem. There's one national anthem for this country, only one, and I'll tell you flat out that's the biggest part for me that I just can't deal with. Jeff is that.
Yeah, well, Tom. The Black anthem, which I never ever heard of.
Nobody ever heard of it, Jeff. No human being ever heard of it.
All of this happened, okay, would be a anthem of people that are black that have originated in Africa. Okay, that's where a lot of the black people have come from or have roots to.
Yeah. So
then, if the game is being played there and you want to play that anthem there, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't see the need to play it here. It's not right. It's just not right.
No, I agree. Guys, Hard Rocket Sports, we're here. 347-826-9934 is the radio side. Jeff and I on the Facebook page bringing some our opinions. Listen, these are not fun topics for us to talk about. Maybe you guys are turned off by it, but this is what's out there. This is what the sports has turned them into. They brought us into this realm, and we don't want to be here. We want to be talking about best players and losing streaks and winning streaks. Not where we want to be. Make sure you share us out there. Let us know. Let your friends know that the Hard Rocket Sports Show is out there. I'm not sure where I want to go with this next. Yeah, Jeff, you got something?
Yeah, I got a little something. With all of this pandemic going on now for fucking months, and it'll take 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and it feels like 22 years. Let me ask you this: how many different bands are now going to be defunct, destroyed?
Wow,
everything.
Are you talking professional bands? Are we talking about personals?
No, not local amateur bands. Professional bands. Do bands like Guns N' Roses, do they go back out? Do AC/DC go back out?
Well, that's a great one right there. Yeah.
Iron Maiden going back out, or Judas Priest going back out. Is anybody going to give a fuck about these bands at all anymore?
The big question is, you're talking about some of these bands getting old. Like, I think the AC/DC one's a perfect one because they were already basically done. Now they were trying to come back with Brian Johnson again. They were bringing back, I think Simon Wright was coming back, so now you think another year before they go out, maybe it's not till next summer, do those kind of bands who are older. Kiss is another one. They were in the middle of their last tour. They're another year older, maybe another year and a half older. Some of these bands, do they come back out? It's a good question, Jeff.
Does a band like we would talk about it every once in a while on the show, does Black Sabbath take another run at it? I would think that this is all but put them in the
I was thinking the same thing just as you started to say that. I think that's put the kibosh on some bands, like a Triumph, like a Sabbath, that you may go, oh, maybe. Now, yes, I know that Kiss is planning because Gene's never going to leave the money on the table. So you're right, Doug. They will be back.
Yeah.
But listen, I'll give Chris credit. We saw them last year, 2019, I think it was, and they did a good job. It was a good show, and I was planning to go this summer to see the last show in New York, but that's out. But yeah, Jeff, I think it's a good point. I mean, there's a lot of those musicians who are in their 40s and 50s. I think will try to find something. I think you'll see the Maidens back of the world. The Priest is an interesting one.
Priest, Rob Halford just hit 70.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how much
That's a tough one.
Going to want to really do that for? How
yeah.
much can you stand up to the rigors of touring? Maiden, who seem to be relatively healthy from what we know.
Yeah.
Relatively drug and alcohol free from what we know, that don't have any major problems.
Right.
Are now in their mid 60s. Are these the guys that are going to want to tour all over the place and put up with touring 200, 300 nights a year or a tour as extensive as the ones that they've been doing in the past? And I just don't see it. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a case by case basis, but I definitely think that some of these bands that I think AC/DC is a perfect example, Jeff. I think you did a nice job bringing them up. I think that's a band that was on the way back. I don't know if they recorded. They were going to record an album. I think that's going to lose some steam.
How about Queensryche?
Yeah,
Queensryche ever getting back with Jeff Tate should be a dead issue about this point in time.
It might be, yeah. But now here's the thing with that one, though, Jeff. That one may actually go the other direction, and I'll tell you why. Because they were having a hard time gaining steam, and I like Todd Latore. I think he did a great job. I saw them live, but I think they've lost some steam. I think the one thing that people are going to try to do now is gimmicks, and a gimmick for Queensryche would be to get Jeff Tate back in there singing with whatever's up to the original band. I mean, huh?
I want to see. He's 61 right now.
Jeff Tate?
Jeff Tate is 61 right now, yeah. So, to me, I don't know. You got to think if this goes another year, now you're talking 62.
Mm-hmm.
Is this are they going to look to, further and play and everything else? Maybe one last payday that might.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, just think about they were having a hard time now. So now you've lost that whatever momentum you have. Now you got to try to get it back, Jeff. So my point is, I think if there's bands like I'll throw Skid Row into that with they've been back and forth for years talking about getting they don't want nothing to do with Sebastian Bach. These are bands that might need something to jumpstart people. Some people. I don't think you're going to see DeGarmo. I think isn't DeGarmo like isn't Chris DeGarmo like a airline pilot or something now?
Yeah, he's a pilot. I don't know who he flies for, but
but he's like a commercial pilot now, right?
Yeah, I think you would have seen him come back to the band at this point in time. And you're right, Doug. Tate's not the same vocally.
No, we saw him.
He was, but I'll tell you this much right now: he's still Jeff Tate, and just for that alone, people are going to want to see Tate play with Queensryche. If Scott Rockenfeld, whatever his name is, gets his shit together and gets back with the band, seeing 4/5 of Queensryche, it'll be a good for some people. They'll want to see that. I'm not one of them, to be honest with you. I really ain't, But like also too, I got more coming as I'm thinking about it. UFO with Pete Wade that died, Paul Chapman died.
Who's left? Who's even left at this point?
Well, you would have the drummer and the singer. That's it. Everybody else is a replacement player.
Yeah, Todd. By the way, you're right, Doug. Todd Latore is a beast. I saw him live in the Starland Ballroom here in New Jersey, and he did a great job with the band. I'm a little down on Todd Latore for some other reasons, but he did a really, really nice job singing for Queensryche. But I think Queensryche is one of those bands that Jeff brought up that would need a jump start and getting finding a way to get work with Jeff Tate. And listen, let's be honest, Jeff Tate hasn't really been setting the world on fire as a solo artist.
No, that's why he's going around with his version of Queensryche.
Yes, exactly.
That's why, because he knows where the bread is buttered here.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt in the world why that is. Hard Rocket Sports, guys, 347-826-9934 and 4. We're here on our Facebook page. Make sure you go to our website, hardrocketsports.com. Check us out. Our YouTube page is the Hard Rocket Sports Show, and make sure you share us out there. We're trying to do this for a living, so come on, give us a hand, man. Come on, we give you some good stuff.
Now let me ask you another band. And your thoughts on this band? A band of 50-something-year-olds, a local band. What happens to a band that just recently took off the ground with? Basically, we don't know when and if there'll ever be a place to even play again. What happened?
Oh, wow.
What the fuck was that?
Thunder.
No.
Yes. Wow. A very loud and still going thunder. There's a little bit of storms here in Monroe, New Jersey.
Oh, that's not good.
Hey, you know what, Jeff? I'll tell you this. The reuniting of Sacrifice Mach 2 went off pretty good.
Yes, it did. It did go pretty good.
Yeah, it went pretty good. Now, I was giving the odds to at 5-1 at least that we wouldn't make it out of the first practice, but we did.
Yes, we did. We did.
Some interesting songs. I did some new tunes, and listen, it was nice. You know what I think was the change of scenery was nice as far as we getting to play with. I'd never jammed with Johnny Collins before, and getting Joey back together with us was nice.
Oh, definitely.
So it's interesting, but I think but even still, I mean, you're right. Even for local bands, a lot of people haven't practiced together in a while. I've talked to a few friends on Facebook, and it's hard for because why practice? You can't play anywhere.
Well, see, that's why I disagree. Now's a great time if you're into it to get a band together and everything, simply because you're gonna have nothing to do but get tight. There's going to be you can't rush to book a show because there's no place to book a show.
No.
So you might as well just get out there, practice your ass off, make sure your band is kicking ass, and then go out and look for places to play. And that's what I'm doing right now with a couple people.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Same thing with this band.
Yeah, Doug, you can go to Hard Rockin' Sports Band on YouTube, and you can catch some of the old band. We've kind of updated it. We've changed the name. But Jeff, myself, and our guitar friend Jimmy, you can check out the Hard Rocket Sports Band on YouTube and see a bunch of videos from different shows we've played. But we'll have some new stuff coming up, and we'll talk to RFL about signing a contract. But I don't know. John's got to come up with some green. John's going to have to come up with some green.
Yeah.
But Doug's right. A lot of people doing the live stream. For myself, Jeff, I mean, as a local band, I would never do the live stream thing.
Well, listen, you could do the live stream thing all you like. Okay, you need to have people there to feed off of, and
absolutely,
and something to do. All that you just sit there and just play.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun. I think it's fun if you're an artist trying to sell records or that kind of stuff. I think then the live stream works just to get. But for local bands, there's a couple of guys who've done it.
Local bands doing covers at that.
Yeah. I mean, guys like our good friend Lou DeBello, he does a live stream and he does some originals of some stuff. Damon Johnson, Damon Johnson's been on the show a few times. he's done some live stream and does some covers. He does some originals. But those are guys almost basically professional guitar players. They're professional musicians. Again, I'm hoping, sometime soon, maybe your boy DeBozo, he gets the vaccine and he lets everybody start doing something again. But
who the fuck's going to take this fucking vaccine? Then fucking Trump comes on TV and says, oh, there may be a vaccine by November 1st. Stick your fucking vaccine up your ass. I'm not fucking taking that shit.
Listen, I've never taken the flu shot. Don't intend to. I would say at this point, never going to take the corona vaccine.
We could both say this, okay? But they may end up fucking pigeonholing everybody into taking it. God, I hope not, because now if you want to rejoin society, you may have to take that.
You may get stuck with that more than me because, working for the city, you may get stuck having to take it. Like my wife, she works in the ER. She has to take the flu shot every year or she can't work.
Yeah, my wife, too. She has to take the flu shot being that she works in the medical field. Yeah. I work outside, so I'm hoping that maybe that gets me out of it. But, this whole thing is bullshit. And like, all of a sudden he comes on TV and said last night or the night before that, the vaccine will be out by November 1st. What is it, a race for this vaccine to see who's going to have this vaccine before fucking election day?
Pretty much, yeah. Listen, I don't like that at all. I mean, to me, I don't want the vaccine politicized. But listen, I've learned one thing in this last 4 years: everything's politicized.
At this point in time, that vaccine it's God, please.
Yeah, if I was going to take it, I'm not going to do it early unless I'm forced to, which I hope
You know what they should do? I'll tell you exactly what they should do. You want to fucking, instead of letting all of these people out of the jails, fucking vaccinate them.
Yeah.
Vaccinate these motherfuckers instead of letting them out of the jails. Leave them in jails, let them get COVID, and fucking vaccinate them. That'll be a perfect place. You also want to do something else? Find a way to get that fucking thing in an aerosol form. Okay? And get a fucking plane, crop duster. And when they have the Black Lives Matter march, you can announce over the vaccine, you're now being vaccinated for COVID-19 and just blast them. And then see what happens. Do they start fucking growing tumors? What? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust it enough. And again, having had it already, I'm not rushing to get to take a vaccine for it. So we'll see how it plays out. But yes, it's politicized. Let's stay on the political and just for a second more. I want to talk about the college football. And I want to get the schedule up for college football in a minute. But Trump's been on the thing this week, and he's been trying to I don't know if it's negotiate, talk them into it, but he's trying to get the Big Ten and maybe some of the other schools, the other conferences to play college football this year. He's like, I think they should play. These kids deserve to play. It's good for the country. And a lot of people, especially on the left, have come out, Jeff, and said, hey, don't bring – I know you didn't want politics into this. To me, that's not political. That's just the leader of the country trying to get people back to work, get things going again. I don't find it to be a political thing. What's your thought on does the president have the right to get involved in something like this?
Right now, if Trump came on TV and said that he had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch today, they would fucking politicize that.
True.
That's just the time of year it is. It's the nature of what's going on, and it's because of who it is. So no matter what he says, they're going to look to fucking slap the political label on it. That's
Absolutely.
what they'll do it.
Right. But
he says he uses Scott tissue over Charmin. That's it.
Yeah.
Political. So that's just how it is.
But in your opinion, is that something? To me, if I think it's well within the president, right? Again, he's not writing laws on it. He's just going up and saying, "Hey, I think we got to find you a way to play football this year. You got to get out there." I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Here's my only issue with it. Okay,
Yeah.
with everything with the state of everything the way it is right now, there are things that are a little bit more important than college football, and I think that he should be pressing that to return to normal and let sports take its place when it happens. I would rather see small and local businesses be able to come back and open up on some level. I'd rather be able to go eat indoors instead of eating in a fucking parking lot. It's going to start getting cold soon. You're not going to be able to be eating outside.
But the problem is he has no say on that kind of stuff. That I agree with. I mean,
it came out today that even though de Blasio's running around saying, there'll be no indoor dining in New York City. But then the governor turns around and says that it's up to him to say instead of the mayors. Well, then maybe the president could turn around and say, listen, start fucking doing all you want money, open up.
Well,
that's all there is to it.
Well, it's funny. He did that. It's the funniest thing you said. And Doug, you're right. It is stuff that the president should be doing. He came out today, I think, and said, hey, we're going to take a real look at this. If you're a city and you're burning it, you're letting the city burn down, we're going to look at how much money the government gives you every year. And we may take that away because I'm not going to let you have money so you can blow it or waste it or spend it on criminals who are burning your city down. And they tore him apart today for it. They tore him apart.
Listen, that's all well and good, but the people that didn't partake in that shit are the ones that are going to fucking suffer, and that sucks.
Correct, but
that's not right.
But, no, I agree with you on that, Jeff. And it's not. But here's the problem: the only way you can solve that is the people who didn't do that need to vote out the assholes who let it happen. You got this mayor in Portland, right? Who. He's 90 days they've been burning that city down, rioting every night, and he's defended it. Has done very little to stop it. Now they actually went to his house and tried to burn his building down. Now he lives in some co-op. Other people live there. He's actually had to move out of his house to make them safe and himself. That's how bad this guy's been bending over backwards to let these people do whatever they want, and they want to burn his house down. What does that say about what's going on in today's society?
It says a lot. It says a lot. And I know that we've discussed this before, and I understand what you said, but I'm still going to say it, and this is my thought.
Sure.
I would love to see the president get involved and say, listen, this is what we're going to do, and knock it the fuck off. Stop this shit. The sooner it stops, the sooner that we could get back to normal on a lot of different levels. The longer you let it happen, the harder it's going to be to stop. These people are showing that they're not doing anything to stop it. I could not give a flying fuck if the fucking Air Force came in with a bunch of F-16s and went into these little fucking towns and leveled them and did what they had to do to stop all of this shit and gain control. Okay? It's a war within the country.
But unfortunately, he cannot put troops on the ground in anybody's state without being invited in. Wisconsin burned for 2 days, and then they finally called him up and said, "We'll take the help." He went in there and it went away right away.
He signs executive orders for a lot of things.
No, he can't do it. There's only one way. There's only one thing. If he actually did it, first off, I don't think the Pentagon would even send the troops. But if he tried to, they can impeach him. He'd have to invoke the Insurrection Act, and it's like you can't put U.S. troops in cities. You can't do it unless you're invited in. And he did it in Wisconsin, and he saved Wisconsin.
Something's got to get done.
Yeah, again, there's very little he can. If you watch the news, I know you don't watch TV, you don't read it, you don't. He every single day says the same exact. I'm telling you, I watch it every day. He says, "I wish they would call me. I will send whatever they want. I'll give them whatever they need to fix this." And Wisconsin, after 2 days, took him up on it. And he sent the troops.
If these were Republican towns,
yeah,
they wouldn't be in the position they're in.
Absolutely not. You're right.
And if the people there turned around and said, even though they're Republican cities, no, we don't want your help. We don't want your help.
Right.
Being that they were Republican cities, sooner or later, I think that he would have done something.
He can't without being invited in. It's illegal for it to happen. It's illegal. He can't do it. I agree with you. If it was it doesn't happen in Republican cities.
I understand that, but just fucking do it and take care of it and get this shit stopped and ended with. That's all.
Last Sunday, the riots broke out in Wisconsin. 2 days later, the governor finally said, "Okay, I'll take the help," and he sent them right in, and it ended that day, and it's been quiet ever since. So we can pick on him for a lot of things. He's made it very clear. I will send everything and anything you want to help you fix it.
Not so much picking on him at this point.
Yeah.
But Douglas says the voters put these fuckers in office. Yes, they did. And it takes a long time before you can get them out of office.
That's it. 4 years.
But sometimes you have to do what's best for the people that don't agree with what's going on. So does this mean that you could burn New York down until November of 2021? won because this jerk off De Blasio is there, and you're going to lose a place like New York City, even though once it stops, it's going to start to heal itself. New York, you watch. It's not going to be completely empty. It's not going to be like that forever. It's New York. It's not going to be like that.
No, yeah, and he's right. Then he's a dictator if he does. But no, see the problem with New York City, Cuomo could fix it like that. He has the power to pull De Blasio out and put somebody in and take over, and he hasn't done it, and that's the problem. But no, Jeff, you know what? This time in New York, I don't remember in the Dinkins era having a lot of people completely abandon the city. But you go through the city, Jeff. I got a buddy working downtown, and he called me the other day. He said, "Tom, I actually went upstairs." Middle of the day, this is like Tuesday, and he said you could hear a pin drop. He said that he's on Broadway and he's Broadway and Duane Street, somewhere in that area. And he said, Tom, there's nobody in the city, nobody's here anymore, and it's starting to get to the point where people are just running out of the city. Taxes are too high, rents are too high, and you're getting killed.
Between the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And everything else that's going on, it's just been one thing on top of another thing.
Yeah.
Once the pandemic clears out and this shit starts to calm down, people are going to come back. Huh?
November 4th. No, Jeff, listen, do I ever think that New York is going to be run down forever? No. I don't think it gets clean till the I don't think it gets better till after the next election. And if a Republican wins. And I can't imagine, to me, you can take a pile of dog shit, put a Republican nameplate on it. I think it's going to win at this point because I don't think anybody wants another Democrat at all. But,
Oh, listen, there's a lot of young voters, Tom, and they're all fucking thinking fucked up.
You're right.
I don't disagree with that. I see some of the shit. I don't want to mention names because I'm related to one, but I see some of the stuff that some of these people post on Facebook.
Yeah.
It is not good, man. It is not
good. I agree. If anybody thinks that what New York City looks like right now is the way it should be, let me tell you something. I'd vote for Rudy Giuliani. I don't even live in New York anymore. I'd vote for Rudy to come back and fix this place up again.
Yeah, well, it's going to need a little bit more than him. That's for
no, you're absolutely right. But let's get back to some sports. I mean, the politics end of this is never going to change for right now, and I want to get to some sports. You know what, Jeff? Here's an interesting company. I'm not very high on the Buffalo Bills, and I think sometimes you are, you aren't. Two things were very interesting to me. There was a thing out this week on 6 overrated football teams, and the Bills were one of them. I'll give you the other ones in a minute. But the other part of it was that the ESPN, Bleacher Report did the top 20 teams, their Achilles heel, meaning the one thing about that team that's going to drag them down. And the Buffalo Bills' Achilles heel was Josh Allen. I thought that was interesting. I thought him as a quarterback, I thought he had made strides last year. I thought he played pretty well. And the playoff game didn't play so great. What's your thoughts on, Jeff, on 1A, the Bills being an overrated football team this year, and 2, on their quarterback being their Achilles heel?
I don't see how anybody could say they're in on an overrated team unless you're picking them to go win the Super Bowl. That's one thing. Okay. Somebody has to win that division, and I still think that the Buffalo Bills are the closest to a real division winner in the AFC East. So I just don't see them not winning. Hold on. Just checking on my dog. I don't know if you can see her over there.
I can't. It's a little dark behind you.
She's like a mountain lion on top of the bed, but whatever. If you're going to say, well, they're going to win the Super Bowl, they're going to go and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, yeah, I could see that saying they're not ready for that yet. But I think that they're going to win the division in the AFC East simply because I believe they're the best team. Josh Allen, it seems as though that unless you play like Patrick Mahomes after your second year, you're washed up.
Yeah.
And there was an article I saw today on ESPN where they compared Derek Carr to Aaron Rodgers, of all people.
Really?
And then, yes, and their numbers over the last couple of years have been very, very similar. Mm-hmm. Very similar. The only difference is that I think Rodgers threw for 1,000 more yards and like 11 less interceptions over the same time span. And, if you don't win a Super Bowl and if you're not an elite quarterback, then you're no good. You're a waste. It's are you a bust? And, just not going to play. You're not playing up to your potential.
Right.
And I think that they put way too much fucking pressure. Josh Rosen from the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He's a prime example. He may be on his third team if he's not already released as we're talking.
He's on a trade block. I know
he's on the trade block, but it's like all of a sudden
he's not going to start. He's not going to start the year on that team. There's no way they're going to carry those three guys.
There's no way that man ever starts an NFL game in his career again. It's not happening.
It'd be hard. It's a hard press to believe that would happen. I agree with that.
He's going to go the route of RG3 at best.
Well, saying that about the Bills, Jeff, and I don't disagree with it at all because I've picked them to win that division this year, and I will next week when we do it. Has the emergence of Cam Newton as the starter now in New England changed that for you at all?
I think that Belichick is a little upset at what's going on over in Tampa Bay with Gronk going over there. Fournette just signed over there. Who else? There was another running back. I can't remember the name. I think he played on Philly. I can't remember his name. And he got signed. He's going to be the number one over there. And it looks like the Buccaneers are getting a little attention.
Yeah.
And I think that Belichick is a little jealous. And I think that he went with the name to show that, like, okay.
He took the easy way out to try to get some wins this year.
Well, not so much the easy way out, but maybe he's a little bit more along than some of the other guys that were on the team. And let me try to go with Cam Newton right out of the gate. Maybe he can help us be competitive. I don't think they're going to be competitive, but I think they got to do what they got to do.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I mean, they named him a team captain.
Yeah.
Belichick says nothing but nice things, but I think Belichick is trying to compensate for the for Tom Brady moving, leaving on almost like it never doesn't bother him, no big deal. I have to be honest with you.
He's selling the team. He's selling the team.
You think?
I think that's what he's doing. I think he's trying to sell the team.
Okay.
This is going to be a competitive team. Cam Newton is going to be great. He's better than I thought. The prize, or what are you going to name him a captain? You got to remember, you have Tom Brady. And I think that it was a saving grace for him that the pandemic happened, that we've had no preseason, preseason games and everything else. Nobody's getting a look at Cam Newton right now. Okay. And the whole NFL is going to come out and be real shitty when it comes out, including Cam Newton and Tom Brady. It's just bound to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that, Jeff. I agree. I think it's going to be very different. I think you're going to see some very, very, very ugly football to start this season.
Definitely. But you have to turn around and say that this guy's been playing great. He's been playing lights out. He looks great. He's sharp. His legs, he's been working great. He's running good. Got to say it. You have to say it, especially after all the success that you had with Tom Brady. He's not there. You have to push it. You have to say it. You have to give the people something to think about. That's at least how I think, what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that theory, Jeff. I think that Belichick is trying to sell it to his own team. I have my reservations, but here's the thing. It's hard. I've been sitting there working on next week's show already, and it's very difficult for me to nail down teams right now because there's been such an upheaval in quarterbacks changing. Like, is Phillip Rivers actually going to look good playing for the Colts? I think there are a lot of guys going to be hurt, but I think it's going to be very hard, Jeff, to figure out is McCarthy going to make that big a difference over in Dallas? Does Joe Judge changing things over in New York? I haven't seen enough to make those comments.
We haven't seen anything. That's one thing. And a guy like, I'm going to say McCarthy has experience. Joe Judge.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
Joe Judge is on his way to fucking 1-15.
9 wins. 9 wins. 9
Stop
wins.
it. What's your problem, boy?
9 wins.
Fucked up over there.
9 wins. But no, I think here's the thing. I think the first 4 weeks of the season, I think Doug's got a good point. I think a lot of players are gonna get a lot of soft tissue injuries, hamstrings. You're gonna see a lot of injuries early because guys that just don't have the amount of contact. They have not had the workouts that they need. But I think you're also gonna see a lot of bad football the first month of the season. I don't think it's into like maybe Halloween before you start seeing really good football on a consistent basis.
I think part of the problem with the Giants is that there's a lot of soft tissue over there when you want some manliness on your team. And I don't think they have any. I think there's a lot of soft tissue and Big Blue, whatever the fuck they call themselves. This is a team that's right off the track.
I think here's an interesting trivia question. I want to make it a trivia question. Do you know that Cam Newton is the first quarterback to start for the Patriots? It's been 493 straight games that a quarterback drafted by the Patriots has started a game.
Yes.
That's kind of an amazing thing. They've gone since 1993. They've only had a quarterback start that they've drafted. I think that's pretty amazing.
They drafted Mountcastle?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, that shows
Garoppolo and Brissett. Yeah.
That goes to show you how successful this team is.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a reason why they have the success they have.
Yes, exactly. Wow. So they all look like yes, Douglas. Correct. Douglas is like the third man tonight, man.
Yes, he is. He should have came on. Here's the thing I have here's the problem I have, and I'm not picking on McCarthy because I like McCarthy as a coach. It's very rare that a big name free agent or a big name coach moves to another franchise and has a big success. Parcells has done it a little bit. It's happened. I'm just saying it doesn't happen often for some reason. The guys, like Melvin Gordon had tremendous success in San Diego. Now he's going over to the Broncos. I guarantee he doesn't do anything this year. Le'Veon Bell has left and went to the Jets. He's done absolutely nothing. They're talking about using him more as a wide receiver.
Wait 1 second.
Go ahead.
Le'Veon Bell.
Did I hit a nerve on with your fake squad?
No, not at all. Not at all. Dude, please go back to any episode you want. You could catch me on it several times telling you that they suck.
Okay.
But I will say this much. Okay. One, you're talking about Le'Veon Bell, who sat out a year. 2, you're talking about a player that's in his late 20s. 3, you're talking about a player that played behind on offensive line that might as well have been made out of wet paper. Okay, you add up all of those factors, and of course he's going to start to fucking regress a little bit. Okay, they think, and this is why I say that Adam Gase ain't going to be around much longer. He thinks the answer is Frank Gore, and now you're giving up a 7th round draft pick for a running back out of Miami that failed your fucking physical. Now he's not even playing. So I mean, come on, you're making a questionable trade. You're going after damaged goods, fail the physical. You're a team that's in rebuild mode. You're giving up draft picks, even though it's a 7th rounder. I still think you're giving up too much for a player just because you felt comfortable with him. It's like he wants all his friends over there to be like, come on, follow me up to New York. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah, and Doug, I got to be honest with you. Lincoln Riley, again, it's one of those college coaches. I know he's had some success at Oklahoma. I get it. No, I think for the Cowboys, with a team that's probably closer to being a playoff contender and making a run for the Super Bowl, I would not have gone to an unproven guy. I think McCarthy was a perfect choice for the Cowboys. If they were starting all over again, you can think about a young coach, that's done nothing in the pro game yet. So McCarthy's the right choice for this team because you kind of got to go for it now with that offensive line starting to get a little older. You're losing parts. No, I like that.
Yeah, that's why the Giants went with the unproven commodity and Joe Judge, who hasn't won fucking nothing.
The Giants are starting all over, and I like Joe Judge so far. I think he's done a good job. Now, again, does it translate to wins? I don't know yet. I have no idea. But when I've watched
3-13, 3-13,
9 wins, I'm telling you, and it would be more. It would be more if we had an over-the-top wide receiver. If I had a guy who can get deep.
Oh, you mean when you had Odell Beckham and you traded him? Yes, I hear you.
Stop. Odell, what has Odell done in Cleveland? What has he done since he left the Giants that you would go, oh, who's the Giants? No, I'm happy he's gone.
He do anything because he's Odell Beckham.
But here's the perfect example. Name me the big name player who leaves and goes someplace else and has big success. It happens, but it's not doesn't happen all the time. That's the problem. I don't care. Odell Beckham's done nothing, and he will do nothing again this year. He will be just an average ball player.
You're just jealous. You're just jealous.
I'm not jealous.
You're jealous. You're jealous, bro.
Doug's asking you a question. Does Adams finish the season? No, Adams is already gone. He's already in Seattle, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes. No, I don't think he's going to finish the season with the Jets.
Yeah, Doug missed that.
Go out on a limb. I think he's going to go to the NFC West.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think the question is, does he sign a contract there for long term? I don't think he signed one yet, right? He's
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think 9 wins. Yeah, I was thinking more like 4 seasons, to be honest with you. What is that?
Big fucking blue, baby. Big blue, baby. Should I wear it for the rest of the show, Jeff?
Go ahead.
That's all I can tell you. 9 wins. Excuse me. But there's some interesting stuff this year. The other thing I'll tell you, I think I'm gonna tell you there's some things I think are going to be big failures this year, Jeff. And the biggest failure, I think one is going to be the Cleveland Browns. I think the Cleveland Browns are just stockpiling bad people, not bad players, bad people. I think Gronk fails miserably on his comeback.
I don't think Brady's going to let that happen. I happen.
I got to be honest with you. I'm teetering on. Do I think Tom Brady's going to be an effective quarterback this year? Is Tom Brady going to be a game manager at this point, or is Tom Brady actually going to lead that team to the playoffs? That's the question.
I think they're going to the playoffs.
Doug, you're invited on next week's show. You're going to be part of next week's show right now. I'm telling you right now, you're in. So don't make any plans next Thursday night for the big Hard Rock Sports Set NFL preview show. You're in. I want you on this screen so I can debate you.
There's no reason to debate. What is there to debate? Your team sucks.
Stop. Gronk. We're talking Gronk right now. Gronk will have I will be surprised if he finishes the year, and I think he'll be no factor at all for Tom Brady.
I'll tell you this much, okay? I tell you that Gronk is going to come out, have a couple good games to start off with.
Okay.
They're going to fucking go back on him, ease back on him.
Yeah.
They're just going to use it, let him get some work, let him get acclimated, bring him along slowly after he has a couple good games, and then let him turn it on at the end of the season to see if they get him into the playoffs and what he can do with Brady.
You know what, Jeff? I just think, big guys like that, it takes a year off. He was looking very robotic. He just wasn't smooth the last year he played. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see him coming back there being a factor. Now, if you're right, and they're going to use him just in goal line, big spots in the game, keep him healthy for the playoffs, it's a possibility. But can you really do that, Jeff? Can you really keep him healthy and in that way? That's tough.
Yeah, I hear you and everything, Tom. I really do. My dog's being a real pain in the ass, stealing shit out of my wife's bureau. I hear you, but once again, it's Brady and Gronk. Okay, they've had proven success before in the past. They're liable to turn around and say, just having him on the team as an escape valve.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
May be enough for Brady that he knows I got somebody that I'm comfortable with. I have an old friend.
Thank you for using.
And that's what I think they're going to use. I think that's how it's going to happen. I'm not going to say that he's going to throw, catch 90 balls and get 15 touchdowns, But you know what? 35, 40 passes throughout the year, 500 yards, 6 touchdowns, maybe enough that he needs.
Yeah, I get it. I just I don't see him being a factor. I honestly don't. Again, I love to see what that team looks like other than in controlled environment. We'll see how they play. I want to talk about the Eagles a little bit, Jeff. I know we were kidding around before, but it's got to be a little bit disconcerting if you're an Eagles fan that Carson Wentz is again playing with an injury, again not being able to. 20-something years old, and the guy is constantly hurt. At what point? I mean, they drafted another quarterback this year, and people wondered why they took the kid from Oklahoma.
Hurts.
Yes, Jalen Hurts. Good call. Is there a little bit of handwriting on the wall that maybe the Eagles, have something in mind?
Well, maybe they want to have a somewhat of a decent quarterback to fall back on, because not for nothing, Wentz is getting hurt a lot.
Yeah.
When you turn around, he seems to be injured.
That's the point.
If they have somebody that they know they could trust or bring along, it benefits them.
Yeah,
right?
What's funny?
Basil's telling me something. What's that? Yeah. Okay. She said that the Giants are going to go 2-14, and Jones is going to be replaced. Hold on. What's that? By week 3.
Oh boy, I love Basil, so I'm not gonna say anything nasty about Basil. But yeah, Doug, I don't like Witten. I think Witten was done years ago. Unfortunately, again, he gave me nightmares for years. And again, Hall of Fame player. I think if at best he's a role player there, maybe a guy you want in your locker room. I think it's a smart move from that perspective.
Just like fucking Gronkowski.
But I don't see. It's a great point. I think that at the end of the day, maybe in a big game in a big spot, if you have a guy like that, it's there. But I don't think he's going to be more than a third down role player for that team. That's a tough one. But Wentz and Goff, here's two guys that people kind of were down on them as being these big time number one picks. Had some early success. And then both of them have kind of just fallen off the last couple of years. Very surprising to me, Jeff, that these two guys did not make the jump to that next level.
Yes, I hear you. By the way, Doug, Basil is a one-eyed Boston Terrier at that. She had to have her eye removed. But yeah, Tom, you're right about those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
just don't seem like they're ever going to make that move either.
Yeah, and I would say at this point they're going into, I think it's their 4th year, I think, at this point. And maybe it's their 5th, but it's at some point you've had to make that jump to that next level, and I don't put them in there. I couldn't find a way to put them in my top 5, maybe in a top 10 scenario, but certainly not in top 5 either. I don't like either guy.
I don't even see them in the top 10. Tom.
Yeah, I'd have to put that on paper a little bit. I think
a top 15 at this point in time. I don't think that either one is what they're advertised.
Yeah, I mean, technically, Wentz has not won a Super Bowl, even though his team won it when he got hurt. He's not taking that team to the next level. And, Goff had some really good success. And then ever since that, especially in the Super Bowl, he's kind of drifted backwards. Last year, they were a terrible team. He did not play well. So, I mean, that's two guys that in this league that I thought would take it to another level. And,
they were certainly headed in that direction, but you know what? The whole Rams franchise took a downturn.
Yeah.
So, you got to see what happens. Is that gonna, is that gonna change this year? Everybody says Aaron Donald, but Aaron Donald is getting older. And Doug, she's on pretty much every week. Sometimes she comes upstairs and is a pain in the ass while I'm on. So you'll see her again. But as far as the Rams go, I don't think that they have it. I really don't think.
No, I think the Rams are a third place finisher this year. I think that at a minimum, the Rams, at best, they're a third place finisher, I should say.
Oh, I totally agree. And if everything that you're hearing about Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals is correct, they may be a 4th place team this year.
Yeah, I don't buy. Well, again, a lot of people, and part of that overrated list, they had this team they had the Bills, the Raiders, the Seahawks, the Texans, Rams, and Skins all overrated for their picks, for their number of wins for the year.
Well, The Raiders are definitely.
Yes.
I could definitely see on that pick on that list. I don't see the Seahawks being on that list. I really.
Yeah, they have them as over and on. They have the over on the line for the Raiders this year is 9.5 wins, and these guys had them under 9.5 wins.
For the Raiders or Seahawks?
Seahawks, sorry, Jeff, Seahawks.
No, I don't see that. I could see them being a 10-win team without a doubt. I also see. I agree with them about the Texans. I think trading that wide receiver was like the worst thing that they could fucking do.
Yeah. Now, would you commit? They're talking about giving this kid Deshaun Watson a huge raise. You know, Jeff, I'm sorry, I don't think he's done enough so far for me that you want to commit that kind of money.
It's going to happen, Tom.
I agree with you. It's going to happen. I agree with that.
Because as long as you have somebody that's not giving the ball over on every play, they're going to sign him. I mean, Christ Almighty, Gardner Minshew is fucking starting in Jacksonville. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, what's the kid? Not Foles. What's the other kid? The one in Tennessee. The kid played for for the Dolphins. Tannehill.
Mariota. Oh, keep going. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Tannehill gets a spot, you know, and gets a sign for big money. The guy's done absolutely nothing. I like Tannehill, but yeah, Doug. Next week we'll have you on. We're gonna do week 1 picks. Yeah, I think Seattle does win that division, but almost, you know, I as the 49ers, you know, is the trend. The 49ers going to be the team that bucks the trend. You know, usually that team that goes to Super Bowl and loses. You know, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Rams have all taken that big turn downward. You know, are the 49ers going to be that one team that doesn't and either go back or put up good numbers this year? I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of them last year, to be honest with you. But they did make it to the Super Bowl. But do they buck the trend and they play well? So to me, that division is probably going to be the Seahawks almost by default. I think the Rams suck. I think if the Cardinals are going to be good, they're a couple years away. And I think the 49ers may fall. So, you know, that's a tough division for me to pick apart right now. But I'm going to say that I think the Seahawks win that division by default because I just don't think anybody else is going to be any good. Hard Rocket Sports, guys, we're here every week, Thursday night, 7 to 10. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. We may end this a little early tonight, but we'll see. We've got at least another half hour in us.
You still have the thunder over there?
It was just downpouring like you wouldn't believe. The thunder went away, but the rain was tremendous. It just stopped out here.
I know. I just see what Douglas is right now. I don't think Seattle is going to win. I think that's going to be the 49ers division this year. I could see Seattle getting into the playoffs with a wild card.
Yeah.
Only because I don't think Arizona is ready to make the jump yet.
I agree. But, you know, Jeff, I was just saying I don't know if I'm just talking to Doug alone or a bunch of people, but what I was just saying was that division is kind of weird. I think the Rams are bad. I agree with you. I think the Cardinals are a couple years away from being a really good team if they're going to be one. I'm still not buying into Cliff Kingsbury at this point, but we'll see. The 49ers are the interesting one, and I'll tell you why. Remember, the last 3 or 4 picks, the teams that lost the Super Bowl, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Rams all went shit to bed afterwards. They never regrouped, never got that momentum back to make a run. Do the 49ers, are they the one team that kind of bucks that trend and they maybe make another trip back there this year?
Do you know who started that trend off by any chance?
The Jets in
No. The Giants when they last won over a decade ago. They're the ones that started this new trend of we're not getting anywhere near the fucking Super Bowl next year.
Are you done? Are you done? You good? Got out of your system?
A little bit. There'll be more. There's more.
Sure. You got more?
I know there's more.
Oh, good. I'm so happy. God help me. I want
God needs to help the New York Giants.
No,
I don't either. If maybe the fucking Cardinal over there needs to say a few prayers at St. Patrick's, whatever the case is, but they need some fucking help. This team, man, it's disgusting.
Oh boy,
one of America's teams, I should say.
I'm trying to find the college football kicks off this week, Jeff, and I know you're not a huge fan.
What What games?
Well, that's what I was just trying. I'm just trying to find. I thought I saved it on my bookmarks. Just taking a look for it now. Let me pull it up here. Week 1, college football. Let's see if I get the schedule out. Let's see. Okay, so Saturday, well, tonight actually, but all these games are canceled. Oregon State against Oklahoma State canceled. Ohio State, Illinois canceled. BYU, Utah canceled. Canceled, postponed. Wow. I'm trying to find the games that are playing. How's that? Let me see if I can try Bleacher had it.
Doesn't sound very promising right now, bro.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, it doesn't sound very promising. I'm pulling a Bleacher Report because I think that's where I found it. Bleacher Report. Give me a second, guys, while I look up the schedule. See if I can pull it up for everybody to see. The weather's playing havoc with my internet right now. College football. Bleacher Report. Give me a second. And let's see if we find the schedule for you. That's where I found it. Where is it, Jeff? Come on. So yeah, I'm just trying to find. The bottom line, what I was trying to get to was that there are no great games this week. I mean, I don't know. Huh?
I'm sure there's not. It doesn't sound like any teams are playing.
Yeah, there were some games for tonight that seems to be canceled. So I'm trying to find. I can't seem to find where the college football. Where there was a whole thing on schedule, but I can't find it. I'll try one more second. Hold on, just bear with me one more second. ESPN. I know one of these sites I was looking at the other night. I was like, I got to talk about this. Let's try that. I did not hear of the next practice schedule yet, Jeff. Have you noticed the next practice schedule for the Hard Rock Sport? I should say, I'm sorry. Sacrifice Mach 2?
No, I have not. No, I have not. No.
Yeah, I did see a text go out the other day.
Yeah, these guys don't seem very good at answering text messages.
Oh, or answering, writing, commenting. No. Let's see. Week 1 tomorrow, Saturday. Okay. Wow, all these games are canceled. Why is that? Okay. These aren't the new schedules. News about the college football schedule. Let's try. This is the last site I'm going to try. If I don't find it here,
it's going to be like Idaho Central versus fucking like New Hampshire West or something.
Let's see. Okay, so Saturday you got Eastern. Hey, here it is. Okay, so Saturday you got Eastern Kentucky versus at Marshall, Middle Tennessee State.
What did I just say? The colleges you never heard of before.
Okay, Middle Tennessee State at Army, SMU at Texas State, Houston Baptist versus North Texas, Arkansas State at Memphis, and Stephen F. Austin at UTEP.
I'm going to tell you something, man. Stephen F. Austin is going far this year.
You got it. That's your pick?
Yeah. All the way.
Oh, boy.
Matter of fact, I think they're going to win more games than the New York Giants.
That's a dick. I swear to God, he's such a fucking dick. He really is a fucking dick. I swear. I don't know how I get through this every week. You're right, Doug. None of the military academies have canceled the games. Looks like they're all playing.
And all the military academies, I heard, are going to be standing for the fucking anthem.
Oh, I guarantee you that.
And their teams, the leaders of the teams are going to make sure, not like the Giants, where they're going to soften up their stance and allow their players. We're going to stand behind you. Are they going to have crying rooms on the sidelines? So when they get upset, they can go cry. Oh my God. I can't believe this.
Are you done? Let me know when you're done so I can have
I'm just bringing up a fucking point, Tom.
You're beating the point to death. That ain't even true.
I can't. I can't even compose myself right now, knowing that this is going to happen. Fucking Mara. Jesus Christ, Mara.
Yeah, are you done? Are you done? You thought you feel. I know you're down. I want to make sure you're okay.
Done. I'm not okay. I wish I had
No.
some religious to pray to.
But you were okay when your boys did it, right? When your boy Chris Johnson was locking arms and kneeling and cajoling and
Hey, wait, listen. Johnson. He was over there in fucking England, fucking whipping
I
his.
say Woody. I said Chris. Chris is running the show now.
Woody Johnson. What a name, huh? Woody Johnson.
Woody would never have allowed this. If Woody was still here, Woody would never have allowed that to
Woody
happen.
had just gone to the police. This would have never have happened.
That's a funny.
Chris Johnson's a fucking idiot too. I mean, come on.
That's a
He
funny.
hired Adam Gase, bro.
Yeah.
He hired Adam Gase.
Yeah. So we're gonna do best bets for next week. We're gonna pick. You know, let me see. I think I have my best bets up here. Best bets to win out of all the teams that won the divisions last year, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's go AFC North. Last year was won by the Ravens.
Yes.
Okay, what's the odds in your mind that the Ravens win the division again?
Very good that the Ravens win the division again, I believe. I think they're going to win that division again. I don't know how to place odds. I'm just going to say that the odds are in their favor. How's that?
Okay. Vikings won the NFC North last year. What do you think?
That division is a mishmash, man. I think the only one that's out of winning the division is Chicago. From the little bit I've heard, it seems as though that Detroit has maybe took a step in the right direction, but I think it's going to ultimately come down between Green Bay and Minnesota.
Patriots won the AFC East last year, Jeff. We've already kind of got on record as saying that probably the Bills. Any chance that the Dolphins coming off of a good run last year at the end and a big off season, any chance the Dolphins could sneak in there?
No. Teams that go 5-11 don't all of a sudden come back next year with a rookie quarterback and win their division. It just doesn't happen. I'm sorry.
Now, a division that is close and near and dear to my heart, and I got to tell you, a division where I think if there was ever a year or a division where no team wins the division, it could be the NFC East.
Nobody wins the division.
Yeah, I think the Eagles won it last year. They just beat out the Cowboys. Both teams were 8-8, and it was basically
every team is going to finish with the same record in the NFC East.
It's possible. I think except for the Redskins, I think the Redskins have no shot this year. The AFC West last year, I believe, was the Kansas City Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
Any chance anybody dethrones them this year? Any chance that somebody else wins? I mean, could the Denver Broncos? I mean, I see people picking the Broncos to win the division.
Listen, the only way the Chiefs don't win that division is if that plane goes down in a swamp and they can't find it. Other than that team is going to win that division for the next couple of years. Welcome to the New England.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. They just signed Andy Reid to a 6-year deal. I think the GM got a 6-year deal, and we all know Mahomes got the big 10-year deal.
You got to think that these guys all got signed, and the Giants have yet to sign Daniel Jones to a long-term deal or Dave Gettleman, which leads me to believe that there's big changes coming up in the NFC East this year for the Giants, such as like a total revampment of the team.
Are you done? Are you done?
Gettleman.
Are you done?
I'm done right now.
You sure?
Yes.
Jeff, the NFC West last year's winner was the 49ers. They went on to the Super Bowl. I think they take a big step back this year. So is there any other chance? Is it guaranteed that it's the Seahawks? Is there a chance that Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury put it together and they challenge for the division this year?
I don't think that the Cardinals are going to challenge for the division this year. I think it's going to come down to the 49ers and then maybe the Seahawks. And one team that I know that is definitely not going to win the NFC West, that would be the New York Giants.
You sure?
Positive.
Jeff, in the AFC South,
yeah.
Last year's winner was the Houston Texans. There's, I think the Tennessee Titans put a scare into a lot of teams last year with their running game. The Colts have veteran Phillip Rivers now. Is there a chance that The Jaguars, I think, obviously have no chance in that division at this point. They've basically tanked for Trevor. Any chance that the Colts, maybe with Phillip Rivers and out the helm, fight for that division?
No, I don't really see that, to tell you the truth.
How about Tennessee? Could Tennessee build on last year's playoff run and put a scare in and win that division?
I find it hard to pick a winner in this division because I don't believe in any of these teams. I don't think that Tennessee is the answer. Jacksonville, I mean, they're trying to get the number one pick for the next 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable.
It should almost be illegal what they're doing. It should almost be illegal.
Yeah. It's like you expected them to try to get people hurt.
Yeah.
If I was Gardner Minshew,
Oof.
I'd be upset.
Yeah.
I really would, because last year he kept that team competitive for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd imagine that he's going to be able to keep them somewhat competitive this year, and he's going to get a bad fucking rap. They're not giving him a chance. Why not give this guy a chance?
I mean, it's obvious. I mean, Fournette's the most recent. Ronnie Harrison gets traded to the Browns. The defensive end gets traded to the Vikings. Last year they got rid of Jalen Ramsey to the Rams. This year, Calais Campbell, AJ Boyk. You know, they've destroyed this team beyond recognition at this point. So to me, that should almost be illegal. The NFL's got to step in and at some point say, be competitive, and you can't just tank it.
Doug is saying Titans win it this year.
I won't argue that. I think
the best team in that division.
It might be, and I think the Texans didn't help themselves when they traded DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, they just did not make themselves better.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, Jeff, real quick
such a sad fucking wide receiver trade since the Giants traded away perennial all-star Odell Beckham Jr.
Jeff, let's move over to the NFC South, and this might be the most interesting division all year. One, I'm interested to see how the Saints play after their offseason that was kind of a turmoil with we talked about it earlier with Drew Brees. So I thought that he had already taken a step back last year. I don't think he was quite the quarterback that he was in the past. The Falcons, everybody's big on the Falcons. I haven't seen it. I don't know how anybody is big on the Falcons, but people are out there. Of course, we have the Buccaneers and the Tom Brady, Gronkowski. They've made some moves, Bruce Arians, and then of course you got the Carolina Panthers. That's an interesting division, Jeff. Where's your thought process on the NFC South?
I think it's going to be the Saints, followed by the Buccaneers, and then the rest of the division.
What is it that people think that the Falcons are going to make this comeback, Jeff? I don't see it. I
think that you know what it is, Tom. What is Dan Quinn is the coach over there? Mm-hmm. This is like his last chance. I believe.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's I don't know what they did to help the team over the season. I'm not a Falcons fan, so I don't remember off the top of my head what their draft was and everything else. But I've seen the same thing. A lot of people have a lot of faith in them. I just don't see that, to be honest with you. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah,
and, I don't think that they're going to do much. I really don't.
Jeff. Usually, first off, I'm going to go on a limb and say that might have been the worst Super Bowl loss I've ever seen, and I think it's very hard for teams to come back. You almost got to get a new culture, change things out over there to make things, kind of move on. But they have not put it together since that Super Bowl loss. I mean, can you think of a worse Super Bowl loss ever?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Oh, God. Here you go.
The Baltimore Ravens bludgeoned the New York Giants probably close to 22 years ago and just bitch slapped them all over the field. The game was over by the end of the first quarter, from what I remember.
Are you done? Are you done?
Yeah, you asked. I'm telling you the truth, man. I have not seen a team thrashed so violently as what the Ravens did to the Giants that year in the Super Bowl.
Are you done?
Just reporting the news, Tom. Just reporting the news. I'm sure Doug would remember that year, that the year that the Giants had the taste slapped out of their
Yeah,
fucking
again, Doug, I have a hard time with big name players, especially Gurley. That Gurley, ever since that Super Bowl, since that playoff, not the Super Bowl, but the whole playoffs, Gurley disappeared. I don't know if was it ever confirmed that he had a bad knee? Was it ever confirmed what the problem was? But Todd Gurley's not been the same player since that playoff run to the Super Bowl.
No, he hasn't. There's a lot of players that have not lived up to their hype
Here we go.
over the years.
Here we go.
They're just
Go ahead, Jeff. Oh, Jeff, what plays are you thinking about, Jeff? Not named Saquon Barkley.
well. Listen, now that you mentioned Mr. Barkley, Saquon Barkley, guys coming off an injury, proven to be an injury bust. I don't know, man. I wouldn't want him on my team.
Doug, what I was talking about is that yes, the Bills losing to the Giants. The Giants played a great game, and they outplayed them that day. And the same thing with the Patriots. The year with the Patriots. Now
they win the Super Bowl by 2 points, I believe it was. And
I think the rule is you have to win by 1.
Kicks the fucking ball wide right. Whoa, what is this guy? I think he's been in front of the computer screen too much. Our bright lights are killing him. The Giants stole that one, man. They stole that one.
Falcons. I'm going to narrow the question. Was the Seahawks loss to the Patriots on the interception in the end zone worse than the Falcons loss to the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
Well, the Bills lost to the Giants.
The Giants outplayed them. It was the greatest game plan ever by 2 of the greatest coaches of all time, by one of the greatest franchises of all time. So go ahead, Jeff. I got you on all of this.
Stop. They lost by 1 point. We both know. Come on,
all you got to do is win by 1 point. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter anything else.
And look at what happened. The Patriots beat the Falcons by what, 3 points?
That's all you need.
Actually beat them in
I think they beat them by 6. They beat them in overtime. Scored the touchdown, beat them in overtime. Excuse me, folks. I'm sorry. It's getting a little late.
It is getting
so
late.
You're not gonna answer me on that Super Bowl thing, so I'll move on. So again, you're picking the Saints to win that division even after Drew Brees and all the stuff, all the offseason?
Yeah, of course you have to, because they're the best team. You have to listen, if you're gonna be serious and pick it back who's the best team, then yeah, you have to. I don't see.
I got to be honest with you. I
else?
want to go to Saints, but I'm going to go with the Bucks. I think they're 2 games better with Brady. So I think they win 9 games for sure. I think they get to 10 wins, and I think the Bucks win that division.
Yeah, I don't see them winning that division. I don't.
Wow.
I see with Mr. Softy himself winning maybe 12 games this year. Breeze.
Mr. Softy?
12 games. What's that, Mr. Softy? Yeah. He softened his stance.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. America, now they could just slap a hammer and sickle on him.
Yeah, I have to tell you. I will tell you that Drew Brees, while I've been no fan, I always rooted against him ever since that he ran up to score in a Giant game once and acted like a dick. But I had some respect for him. I was actually trying to buy a Drew Brees jersey, which if I owned right now, I would piss on if I had it, but I don't have it.
Speaking of pissing on somebody,
yes.
The Giants.
Yep.
They seem to like piss themselves every year the last couple of years.
Here we go.
You think they're going to take at least a lurch forward?
Are you going to change the record? Because it's just your jealousy showing here, guys. If you haven't noticed it,
I'm be jealous of a team that was like 4-12 last year.
We have 4 things on our finger.
Okay. The Jets won 7 games last year. Let's see. Look, I'm gonna fucking flash signs.
It's about the silver, baby. It's about the jewelry. You don't have that. My franchise has jewelry.
You don't have a guy on your team that has any fucking jewelry.
Doesn't matter.
So that just because the team has it means nothing. There's not a player on that team. So what? He's a fucking crackhead.
Greatest player to step on the field. The greatest. 4 trophies in the case. It's embarrassing. You come into the stadium, you go left, you're blinded by 4 Super Bowl trophies. It's just blinded. And then you turn around over there and you go, "Hey, what doesn't even look at the Super Bowl trophy? They won that when they had leather helmets on."
Oh God, here we go. We're just jealous because
Going left.
the Jets have an iconic picture running off the field of Namath.
That's all I got is a picture. That's all I got. That's all it is.
That's okay. That's all we needed. That's all.
That's it. So that's good. You guys are done. The pathetic franchise is done. You don't have to win again. You can just
Giants are pathetic franchise. They haven't won anything.
The most overrated quarterback in history of football.
Eli, you're talking about, right?
No. Joe Willie Namath, the most overrated quarterback in history.
But so is a fucking guy like Eli that finished 500. 500.
2 Super Bowls.
Fuck out of here. Doesn't matter. The guy finished 500 for his career.
2 Super Bowls, baby. 2 Super Bowls, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
these shit-stained pants that'll be going to the Hall of Fame one day next to his trophy.
They're fitting the gold jacket, baby. They're fitting him for the gold jacket already. That's all I can tell you.
He shit himself when he almost got killed in the backfield.
What else do I want to bring up? So we went over Trump. You didn't give me the overrated teams. I know. I got one more football-wise. And we're going to talk a little bit about football tonight because we're getting ready for next week's big NFL season show. We'll go through all the divisions. Jeff's going to do his homework this week, folks. I promise. He will go through all the teams. We'll come up with some of the big question marks, and we'll bring that all to you right here next Thursday night.
I got a couple question marks.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, God.
Okay. One,
here we go.
I question teams that have rookie head coaches.
Here we go.
Such as the New York Giants. I question teams that have suspect running backs, such as the New York Giants.
9 wins.
I question teams that have second-year quarterbacks that haven't proven themselves, like the New York Giants.
Like the New York Giants.
I have questions about teams whose owners are encouraging them to kneel during the national anthem, which is the New York Giants.
Let me know when you're done.
Oh, Basil, what do you think?
Last thing for me tonight. This is an article that was written also.
Basil said, is Jones going to be able to throw for 12 touchdowns this year?
I'm going to give you, Jeff, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. Make that 7 teams. Okay, we're going to do it quick. That the post Bet Smart division has said are going to overachieve. I'm going to tell you the team and how many wins, and the post has said that these teams will go over that. Are you ready?
Okay.
Save the best for last. They said the Cardinals over 7, guaranteed over 7 wins.
No.
Okay.
I say 6 tops, maybe 7 if they play good. Stop it now.
Second one is the Panthers. Over 5.5 wins. Teddy Bridgewater, Russell Okong's moved over there. Got some wide receiver help. They promoted Bobby Anderson. Joe Brady, who was the LSU offensive coordinator. Any chance that the Panthers go over 5.5 wins?
Possibly. If they had an off-season to play and a couple off-season games that they could have gelled, I would have given them a better chance at that. But I'll say possibly they'll get hit 5.5.
Okay. Well, okay. So you're saying it's an over. They have the Patriots over 9 wins.
The Patriots over 9 wins?
Yes.
No. I don't see that.
That's a tough one too.
I say they're a 500 team.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's a fair statement. How about Jeff? How about the Buccaneers over 9 wins?
No, I don't think so, man. I really don't think so. Tom Brady's arm was given out last year. The only thing I think is he's gonna be comfortable with Gronkowski there as an outlet, and now with Fournette, I say I could give them maybe 7 to 8 wins.
Okay, I think they're worth 9, but we'll see. I got 3 more for you, Jeff. The Chargers, who just announced that Tyrod Taylor was going to start for this year, over 7.5 wins.
No.
I agree with that. I do not see where they're getting.
They had trouble last year with Phillip Rivers.
Now that division's tough, Jeff, because I don't really believe in that division. I mean, you're talking about the Chargers, the Raiders, who I don't think are going to be very good.
No.
The Broncos, who I don't know. I mean, Ryan Locke's going to be their quarterback this year. I'm not a big fan of the NFC West. So you don't think the Chargers have any chance of getting to 7 to 8 wins?
I don't think so. They had trouble last year with Phillip Rivers.
Okay, I got 2 more for you. The Cowboys over 9.5 wins. Will the Cowboys somehow find a way to win 10 games this year?
Yes. Yes, I believe that Prescott is going to play his ass off.
Why, you think he's playing for a contract?
Well, of course he's playing for a contract. He's definitely playing for a contract. I just think that he's going to do what it takes. I think they're going to take the next step.
Okay. Now, I saved the best for last, Jeff, because they basically have guaranteed that the New York Football Giants will win more than 5.5 games, meaning the Giants will win at least 6 games. I think it's a sucker bet. The Giants are an easy 9 wins. Jeff.
Really?
I saved the best for last. I need your opinion.
All right. I'm going to give you my honest opinion of the New York Football Giants.
Here we go.
If I may.
Oh, I would love for once that you give me your honest opinion, not this made up shit that you give me every week.
Okay.
God.
The New York Giants are led by a rookie coach who's never fucking was an offensive coordinator, nothing throughout his career in the NFL anywhere. Okay, so one, he has no fucking football sense. He's a fucking special teams coach. He's going to suck. That's one thing. Second of all, you got Daniel Jones, who's going to be playing behind a patchwork line at best. I get you, this guy's going to get sacked. I'm going to put a number 45 times he's going to get sacked, okay? Hit countless other times, okay? Saquon Barkley is going to turn militant, and he's going to go join the BLM movement, okay? And march on from town to town to spread the word of the cause. You watch, and that'll happen by game 5. He'll be off the Giants, okay? Daniel Jones, this guy couldn't throw a ball out of the fucking helicopter and hit land. He's so bad. He's going to have an NFL record for fumbles this year, okay? I say that this is a team that's going to go 2-13, 2-14. 2-14. I'm sorry. Even though they're going to play 17 games, they're going to be so bad that nobody's going to want to play them their last game. They finished 2-14.
Let me know when you're done.
I'm done, but they're going to try to trade for Barkley before the deadline.
Guys, Hard Rocket Sports. We're going to wind this down on that note because it's starting to stink like shit from that.
Well, that's only because of the Giants, man.
Oh, my God. But, guys, we'll be back next Thursday night, 7 to 10, right here on the Hard Rocket Sports Radio Network. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. Again, make sure you go check out our website, hardrocketsports.com. Make sure you follow all of our great sponsors, Jay Giasio, The Fight Card Game, RFO Records, Sam Bone, Dirtbag Clothing, Spectraflex, Radical Online Radio. Dwayne does a great job down there. Make sure you come back and you check out next week's NFL our NFL preview show. We'll be joined by a bunch of special guests, including Mr. Doug Franklin, who hung out with us basically the whole night anyway, Jeff.
Yeah, that was fine. Doug was there. He's I like having Doug over on the side right now this time. He was a realistic human being. He knows that the Giants suck. The Cowboys are a lot better. The NFC East is going through Dallas this year. It's going to be a very long time before New York sees any kind of action in that division. I'll tell you that much right now.
I'm going to put this out to all my Giant fan friends. I'm going to need one guy on next week with me because I'm going to be tag teamed by 2 guys whose mental football capacity has to be questioned after what I've heard and read tonight. So I need my football friends to come up here and give me some help. But we're going to get Doug on with us next week. Jeff's going to get through his week of work. We got the big show next week. Let's see what. Again, don't forget, guys. Election night. Pretty good chance we'll be on the air. At least I will. I know it's Jeff's anniversary, so he's still up in the air.
We have plans on our on our anniversary night, and we are going to be making attempting to, do a little bacon.
Well, let's not give that any thought on my end. I don't even put
Oh
that.
no, I'm going to give you blow by blow of what happens, man. I want you to be there. I want you to know everything.
I don't want to be there, but I wish your wife good luck with that whole thing. But I will be on the air that night doing a little bit of that, and starting opening weekend, the Sunday, that would be the 13th. I will be doing a Sunday morning 1-hour show, previewing all the games. Jeff will jump in whenever possible. I know he works
every Sunday, man. And I like what Doug is saying at the end. Donald has a better season than Jones, without a doubt, man. Donald is a much more accomplished passer, much more prolific passer than Daniel Jones will ever be.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He's done so. Maybe this year he can get like herpes and miss some games. This year it was mono. Maybe he'll get herpes this year and miss a few games. The sissy Mary he is.
Hey, listen. As long as he's banging Daniel Jones' sister getting it, what's the difference?
Giants 9 wins. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I'm predicting I'm guaranteeing 9 wins this year.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to look funny.
I'm guaranteeing 9 wins.
Nah, negative.
But I got plenty of predictions for next week. I got plenty of things to say, and we'll start it next week at 7:00. We'll have some special guests. Jeff will be prepared. We'll be how long have we known each other? 40 years.
Over 40 years.
Oh, no, it's not over 40. 1981.
Oh, okay. So under 40 years.
39 years to be exact.
39 years, yes.
Yes. 2021, probably January, February, we'll be closing on 40 years. We'll be closing with a 40 years friendship.
Actually, in September. So this will be 39 years because you had met playing in Jerry's backyard.
Correct.
Football in Jerry's backyard. And I think we found out that you were on the football team at McKee at that point in time.
I was. But I'll tell you, the first day we ever met, I'll tell you exactly the day we met. Jerry was out sick. I had to stop at his house after school to drop off work. And it was the first time we were stealing stuff from his house. And he was in his pajamas and he wouldn't leave us alone to go take a piss because we were stealing things from his house.
Yeah, I may still have the Iron Maiden button that I swiped from his house. I still have his Van Halen 2 cassette.
I don't think he wants it back. I'm almost positive he doesn't want it back. Jerry was a fraud, but we're 40 years of friendship, and it almost came to an end tonight with some of the comments I had to put up with. But
please come on,
we'll be back. We will definitely be back next week again. Sunday mornings. Jeff hopefully will join me. We'll do an hour preview all the games, give you all our picks, and of course we'll have some fun every Thursday night. And next week the return of the our segment with Raul Esparza from mybookie.ag. So make sure you guys follow Raul and make some bets.
Raphael, what do you mean Raul?
Oh my God, I'm so tired. Yes, Rafael Esparza.
Say that, please.
Rafael Esparza. Yes.
I am Raul Esparza.
Yes. Rafael Esparza, our good friend, the head odds maker over at mybookie.ag. So make sure you check them out. And, of course, come on back next Thursday when Jeff and I do this all over again. So, Hefe, we're going to wrap it up. Listen, don't work too hard. The guitar on the wall is actually a gift from my good friend Jeff and his beautiful wife. It's the Randy Rhodes Jackson. I got it. It was my 50th birthday present from the Talwinskis. I'll try to get a better shot.
No, it was before that.
No, 50. It was my 50th birthday.
No, because when was your 50th? Because I was living on Ormond Place.
3 years.
I was living on Ormond Place.
You sure?
Yeah.
I thought it was for my 50th, but okay. It may have been for my 48th or 49th, but
I remember getting it for you while I lived on Ormond Place.
Yes, Jeff and his lovely bride paid for that beautiful guitar for me, and I'm very thankful for it. It
hangs it on the wall. Never touch it.
You know what? The reason it hangs on the wall is because I don't have a good enough guitar stand for it to hang there. So it's the easiest place. And when I'm playing, I can just read my amp is. I'll scroll down. You see my Spinal Tap picture on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the amp.
I see your Les Paul.
The Les Paul's right over there. I can swing over to the other side.
Can I give you a little pointer real quick?
Go ahead.
When you leave your guitars on the stands like that, back for the necks, because the weight of the guitar is actually in on the neck. What you should do is that U part, put it down as far as you can to see a way less weight is on the neck. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And it'll help the neck a little bit.
Oh, I appreciate that that bit of advice, but that's the guitar on the wall. That's my Randy Rhoads. Not that I ever play like Randy Rhoads, but that's my my Randy Rhoads tribute guitar. I love it, and
it reminds me, like you say, that you don't play like Randy Rhoads, although you are a capable player without a doubt. In New York, there's a team that has red, white, and blue, and the real New York team, the Buffalo Bills, also had red, white, and blue, and had a real running back years ago. His name was O.J. Simpson, and he since decapitated his wife and her friend with a knife, but that's another story for another day. But, much like that, just a bad team, man. Bad team. Bad team.
Anyway, guys, we'll wrap this up tonight. Say thank you all for listening. Thanks to my dad. Thanks for Doug Franklin, who was basically the third co-host of the show tonight. Thanks for hanging in the whole time, Doug. Had some fun with you. Thanks to everybody out there who else is listening. Karen, my friend Karen King over in Australia, who pops in occasionally to listen to Jeff and I. And, of course, thanks to everybody who else participated. And
you got to ask Karen a question next time she comes on.
Okay. Next time she pops up on the screen, I will let you know.
There is a phrase that they use over in Australia. And basically, watch the video. I'll have to get the name of the video so you can find it. I'll send it to you. It's from a band called King Parrot.
Okay.
And the phrase is well, we're not here to fuck spiders. Joe, you could look up that phrase.
We're not here to what?
We're not here to fuck spiders.
I'll have to ask Karen where that came from.
Yeah, you have to ask her.
I met Karen through Tom Lorenzo. Somehow Tom and Karen are friends, and nice lady, very nice lady, but and very loves animals, absolutely loves animals. So she's a good-hearted person. But guys, we'll call it a night. Thanks for listening. We look forward to having you guys back next Thursday night when we do our NFL preview show. And of course, check out us. You go to Spotify, check out the Hard Rocket Sports Show in their podcast section. Go to our website, hardrocketsports.com, and of course the YouTube channel. And make sure you go to YouTube, find the Hard Rocket Sports Show, and hit the subscribe button. And hopefully next week we'll have some more information on the reboot of the Sacrifice Mach 2 band for you guys in the near future.
I think there'll be another practice or so. I
hope so. We'll see. We'll hopefully. I think there's a possibility on the 12th or the 26th, but we'll see what happens. I got some more homework to do. I got to get some work done this weekend to get ready for that practice.
Well, I don't. There's something up with the 12th. What is the 12th? If we do it, it's going to have to be a little bit later on in the day. I got something to do around lunchtime that day.
Yeah, Joey wanted to do 1:30 anyway.
I may have to do a little bit later than that. We'll see. Let's see
what we haven't even heard on that one. But Hefe, thank you. I appreciate it. Another good show. A lot of fun. Had a few laughs. A little bit of serious comments with the politics, but another good show in the books.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and it's a shame.
Oh boy, here we go. Are you done? Are you officially done yet?
Just a damn shame, Tom. Just a damn shame.
For Jeff Towinski, myself, and everybody here at Hard Rocket Sports, I say thank you. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy yourself. Have a couple of burgers as we bring the unofficial end of summer to a close with Labor Day weekend. No Jerry Lewis telethon. Jerry's kids miss it.
Did they stop doing it? Or they just
years ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The year after he died, they got it down to like 1 hour.
Really? It went from like all weekend to 1 hour.
Yeah, it was down to like 1 hour. I don't know if it was the year he died. It was like a year. They retired him. They came and did it for like 1 year. I think Tony Orlando did it and somebody else did it. It was 1 hour, and then it's been gone ever since.
Let me ask you something. Serious question now.
Okay.
Are we supposed to believe that Jerry Lewis wasn't snorting coke off of somebody's fucking ass all weekend long, staying awake for 3 days or whatever it was back then?
You know, it's funny. The earlier day, I remember as a kid watching it, and Jerry looked like he didn't sleep for 4 months at a time. It was still. Then all of a sudden one day he turned it on and his head was like this big.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the hell happened to Jerry? Holy shit!"
Yeah,
But
like a bobblehead, a Jerry Lewis bobblehead.
it was for a bad, not for a bad reason, but I mean they were trying to do the right thing, and obviously I don't know how they raised like $50 billion and didn't save one kid. I think they bought like 6 wheelchairs, but I swear to God, I think they bought like 6 wheelchairs the whole time. Otherwise, nobody got cured.
With kickstands.
There was a bunch of comedians all the time who said, Jerry's moving on, and the kids are piling up like firewood in the corner.
Who said this?
There was a comedian. Like,
Really?
nobody ever got. No, I think it was Nick DiPaolo. Like nobody ever gets cured. He said they raise all this money. Jerry's got billions of dollars, and the kids stack up like firewood.
Oh my God, that's great.
But it's just amazing that you used to turn that on and had some good. They'd have some comedians. They'd have some musicians. And it was almost like an event that you waited for every year, and then gone. It was gone, and no more telethons.
I remember my grandmother and grandfather, my mother and father used to watch it.
Mhm.
They put it on from time to time, and I'd be like, this is the days when there was one TV in the house.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, come on now. Why the fuck do we have to watch all of these fucking people that I don't like? Let me get some TV time. It's the telethon. We have to watch the telethon.
It's the truth.
Like,
It was big.
Come on.
It was
And
big.
Like fucking Jerry Lewis would see some guy or some woman, always be a woman, and they'd be across the stage, which always looked like it was the length of a football field. Remember?
Yes.
You would see him, and he'd be like this. And it would take them like 10 minutes to go near one another.
Jerry would cry, and
they both cry, and then they kiss one another on the lips. And I love her. She's been with me since the beginning.
Yes.
And next thing you know, they're backstage.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well,
I hated
those are gone, and I don't know what they play over the weekend, but everybody make sure you go out and enjoy it. Huh?
Now they play Mighty Joe Young snippets.
Yes. And listen, Thanksgiving's around the corner. Let's see if we get back to some normal holidays this year. We'll see. Easter went by with no fanfare. Everybody was locked down, but let's hope that Thanksgiving and Christmas are probably Jeff and I favorite. One thing we agree on is at the Christmas time is a big time in our lives, and hopefully
you're gonna have a lot going on for Christmas this year, man.
Let's see. But guys, listen, enjoy your weekend. Let's start with that. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you back here on the Hard Rocket Sports Show next Thursday night, 7:00. Jeff, thanks, brother.
You got it, man.
Catch you later.
Later.
Later.